Here, yeah. Okay, hello, my name is Kazimieras. I represent MITA, and we bring intelligence or artificial intelligence to the field of military intelligence. Various experts, military experts, they agree that 90% of the information needed by intelligence community can already be found online in the open sources. And that is because we, as internet users, we generate enormous amounts of data daily. Intelligence organizations around the globe, they already exploit open sources. However, since the beginning of the recruitment process till the time when the military analyst can bring valuable intelligence, it usually takes more than 1.5 years. And as a result, there is a huge scarcity of military analysts around the globe. Our web platform automatically gathers information from social networks, analyzes the visual content in it, and recognizes military vehicles in the media which is found. And what takes days for the analysts takes fraction of a second for our system. And our solution brings enormous value to our customers by effortlessly processing all the data you throw at it, by cleaning the informational clutter, and by bringing the desired results instantly. Our primary target audience is NATO and European Union countries. However, we see a huge potential in African, Southeast Asian, and South American markets. Intelligence market around the globe shows very healthy growth numbers. And artificial intelligence is going to expand this market even further up. And we project on having 15% of the serviceable available market on the third year of operations. And yes, we have competitors. However, they're hugely expensive. They need long deployment periods, and they need extensive trainings. MITA brings instant value with a reasonable price. We have chosen a subscription-based business model with 2,000 euros per analyst per month, and pay-per-use model is also considered. There are 3 founders in the team: Thomas, our CDO and trusted advisor; Edgaras, our chief data officer; and yours truly as a CEO. Combined, we have more than 40 years of experience in IT research and development, more than 20 years of experience in the field of AI, and more than 15 years of experience in the military.
Time.
No, not really. Is it?
And time. Yeah.
Okay.
So I hope that you will get more questions to get from jury. So
I'm ready for your questions. Yes.
Yeah. So maybe a question from my side. So I'm very interested, how do you see the sales cycles, and also how do you see selling for the governments, especially in this field of the government? Because usually the sales cycles for the government are very long, and then it's also perhaps even more difficult when you have to sell kind of security services, because maybe everyone kind of wants it to be a national solution. So just how do you plan to approach it?
That's correct. Great question, and we see it also as a challenge. Because, as you mentioned, it's a very long sales process. So how we are going to approach it is basically we are looking for the trusted partners in B2B segment, and we're going to provide our solution for their solution. So let's say if they're building military equipment, we're providing our technology as the component for their military equipment, and then we're going to go to the B2G market. So it's B2B2G, if you wish.
Okay, so become like a trusted contractor in a way to that contractor who basically has the connections to the...
Yes, that is true. But on the other hand, we already have contacts in the government. Let's say two organizations are already willing to field test the MVP when it's ready, which is going to be in 5 months. So, well, we see potential in direct communication as well and direct selling.
Got it.
So you didn't have a chance to tell us a bit more about your roadmap. So what is the actual status of the product right now, and what are the next steps so that you would be ready to launch in the market?
Thank you for saving me. I didn't have a chance to show the slide. So we started our R&D process last year, and in 5 months from now, we are going to have an MVP. As mentioned before, it's going to be tested as soon as it is ready by the government organizations. and early next year we're going to have a full product already in the market.
All right, and maybe some of the first customers that you're planning to test the product with, do you already have them, or are they still kind of...
Yes, as mentioned, these organizations, these are government organizations from the armed forces of Lithuania, two separate entities which are not interdependent, let's say, and both of them, they have their own applications for this technology, and they're waiting for it as soon as it's ready and shipped.
Are you raising at the moment, and where are you going to spend the money?
Thank you, too. So we are open for the investment opportunity of 300,000 euros, which is going to be used for technology development and also for the adaptation of technology for to bring it to combat vehicles, to drones, and to smart devices used in the military.
And then where do you see yourself in 12 months with this money?
We have to have two products. One is software as a service, which was presented here today. Another one is edge devices, or what I just mentioned. So these have to be in the market, launched in the market, and we have to have first revenue in the second part of next year.
And do you see the selling the software as a service that you would also need the consultants to kind of train, so it becomes also a consulting fee, or do you see that the analysts will be able to really use it themselves? You kind of trust that they will be able to onboard themselves?
Great question. I think this is one of the best values of our product, is that analysts can instantly use it from the first day. So this is like the thing we're building our product on. Or the value, the main value.
Okay, and then in terms of your team, so how do you see the split in 12 months? Do you see that you're going to need mostly kind of AI specialists, and or do you see that it's kind of half sales organization?
Probably 80% of the people, or the newly hired people, are going to be engineers, and afterwards, maybe in a period of 6 to 8 months, we're going to focus on sales as well. Thank you so much. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you. I don't know why. I'm not sure why he was so shy and hasn't shared that you are in contact with South America, right? And they are very interested in your project. And they just said, like, give it to us.
That is true. So it's so good to have people who are saving you, with the right questions and with the right remarks. So thank you, Simona, for that.
Yeah, thank you. I think that your product is really needed living nowadays, and with such neighbors which we have, right? Okay, thank you, Kazimieras, a lot. And now I would like to invite the second presenter, and this is Rūta Salickaitė-Žukauskienė and IPIC.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Hello to all. I am Ruta and I represent IPIC. We scan close parameters from photo. The problem we are solving is especially important for companies who sell used clothes online. Digitization of clothing. It's a problem because manual identification of clothes parameters requires time, human resources, and affects high risk of errors. For companies, it means costs and pain, how to reduce it. For that pain, we are creating the solution based on artificial intelligent automatic clothing parameter scanning system. We called it IPIC. IPIC is based on a technology developed at Kaunas University of Technology, and we have signed license agreement here. So, IPIC scans information from two photos. From first photo, scans type, color, and additional details. And the most important for end users, measurements. From second photo, scans brand, materials, and size. The solution that all that scanned information automatically transfer online. This is our plan maximum, and we are working on it successfully. Today, IPIC algorithm already recognizes color and learns to scan measurements. Our target market is online clothing business, and we see two potential segments here: new clothes retail market and used clothes resale. At this stage, we focus on resale market because three main reasons. Resale companies has stronger pain about digitization of clothing problem, Resale market has high potential, and because of my personal experience in this field. We see two directions how to monetize our solution: license income and income per photo. It depends on the stage of product development. Our team, high-level professionals with more than 10 years of experience in their field, and we have support from Kaunas University of Technology. After 4 months on working on our MVP and participating in MITA TechHub pre-accelerator, huge thanks for that. Today, we have positive feedback from 2 leading companies, resale companies in Baltic states. And after 6 months of product development, we planned to be ready for enter Lithuanian market, and on 2023, ready for internalization. We are looking for investment for first 6 months stage of development, and we planned 200,000 investment need, of what 50,000 we plan to support from European Union and our investments. And of course, we have our investment needs for our next stage. So, if you know someone who would be interested in our solution, let me know. Thanks.
Perfect timing.
Thank you. So I'm definitely interested. So I was actually, maybe it's a bit too technical, then stop me, but I was able to just check on my label, and in none of the kind of sides of it, I could see the measurements. So how do you actually get the data? Because that's kind of your key pitch.
Yes, we take 2 photos. One of it label. From label, we take size, brand, and materials. And measurements we will take from close unit photo by artificial intelligence algorithm. And from close photo, we also take information about color and about additional details, like this and this.
And do you measure accuracy in any way? So have you kind of run and you can say, I don't know, like the deviation is a couple of % only, so when you actually use those measurements to buy the clothing, the buyer in the end is quite happy about the fit? Or...
Sorry, I didn't understand the beginning of the question.
Yeah, sorry, I was just wondering whether you have tested already the technology.
Yes.
And how accurate is it? How do you look at it?
Yes, of course we tested, and at this moment we are talking aloud because we are happy of results of our test, and yeah, it's working.
Well, we should talk after.
I hope so.
Yeah, so thanks a lot for your pitch. You mentioned that you have already received positive feedback from 2 potential customers, and both of them are international brands, right? But in your roadmap, you also presented that you want to start from the Baltic market. So I'm wondering, why Baltics? Why do you think that this is kind of your starting point?
Yes, the roadmap show not our plan maximum, it's a real plan, and because at this moment we are talking with all that big companies, and to be honest, we don't know which way is better at this stage, because we are talking about our needs and their needs. So the roadmap shows our real situation, and we thought that we will start from the smallest maybe company to check our product in the Lithuanian market, but of course it could be another way.
Okay, understood. And so moving further, now you have the MVP and you will be working on product development. Did any of those companies, are they already signed up to be like your pilot customers, or maybe you have some in the pipeline already?
We are talking at this moment. Even today we were talking with one of them. And as I said, we don't really know which way is better for us and to match our and their needs. So yes, they show interest to cooperate in the future, and they say positive feedback about problem, about situation. We have lots of technical questions, and they show interest to cooperate. So I hope that we'll find the best way for both sides.
I hope so as well.
Thank you.
I'm thinking, how much is this solution dependent on human resources? Or in the future you see, what's the next stage of the solution?
Sorry, could you repeat your question?
So like how much is it dependent on the human resources? Like we still need a human being, right? For it to, in order to work. Maybe in the future you see some other solution that would be level up.
maybe.
Okay, so maybe I could also ask about your investment. So you
Yes.
mentioned to us how you're planning to spend it.
Yes.
Could you also tell us what you will achieve with the money that you want to raise, maybe where you will be, and what's the runway that it could give you?
Yes, it's a good question, and our technical person will explain you more about detail. But I should say that for the first round, after 6 months of product development, we plan to have product enter the Lithuanian market, not full automated, just part automated integration. And it will be okay to work with company and test situation. And in other stages, we will plan to have all full integrated decision.
Thank you.
That's all?
It was not perfect timing this time already. Okay, thank you, Ruta, a lot. And now I would like to ask everyone who is still watching, put aside all your coffees, sandwiches, and just try to understand what Dainius from CorpHedge is going to present you. I can intrigue you a little bit. It's not so easy to understand. So be the one who understands what he's telling. Dainius, stage is yours.
Thanks. CorpHedge creates peer-to-peer currency risk management solution which allows to save up to 70% for the trades. I'm Dainius, and my team is professionals of currency risk management, fintech development, and banking asset management industries. At the moment, for example, if asset management company from Lithuania wants to invest in United States securities, first of all, we want to purchase dollars. And after some time, if we want to withdraw from that investments, we will need to sell dollars back to euros. And if dollar value depreciates, we will get less money on that. So we'll have currency risks. And such risks must be avoided. So now, guys, for managing such type of risks, uses banks or brokers and needs to pay premium for that. And that premium is unstable because it depends on market risk situation and also for other costs like credit costs, liquidity, execution services, technology fees for the bank. Our solution allows for guys, for fund managers and also corporate clients to exchange currency risks peer-to-peer. So we are eliminating market impact because all positions no need to go to the market. And the global banking pool works as a credit intermediary. So guys paying for the credit intermediation services for the banking partners and for the settlement. And that means what you are saving up to 70% for your trades. At the moment, the main competition arises from the traditional venues, how now guys manage currency risks via banks or via brokers. Also, we have alternative liquidity venues, which is also quite popular amongst asset management companies and also corporate clients like 360T, and mainly all of them are owned by exchange operators. And also we have peer-to-peer solution CGFX, which before a few months just launched their solution and did first live trades and see demand from large corporates and fund managers. So we also want to take a part of that $3 trillion daily volumes market. We offered to present our solution for 20 global banks and one institutional bank like EBRD, and did detailed presentations for them what exactly we are creating. Got positive feedback from some of these banks, especially Commerce Bank, Nordea, BNP Paribas, and offered for them to get some commitments from corporate and fund managers to do first prototype trades in our platform. So our business model is to take onboarding fee from the banking partners and also recurring incomes, which is based per $1 million traded, because banks will get incomes from the credit intermediation. And for the asset managers and corporates, we are going to take $10 per $1 million traded and also sell white labeled analytical tools for them. This year is the year when we want to have MVP and fully functional platform with first prototype trades, to have like few banks onboarded in a platform and to do first live trades. If we have success on that, next year we want to onboard 30-40 fund managers with average monthly deals from one client, average 300 millions, and that converts it to more than 100K monthly incomes. We are seeking to start building relationships with potential investors who would like to make a change in capital markets. Thanks for your attention. 3 minutes.
Okay. So one investor from Cyprus already has contacted me and told that Dainius is a gem. We will see what our investors are thinking.
Thanks.
All right, so yeah, you finished off with the investment part, but you didn't mention, so how much money are you actually looking for?
So now it's a good question. Yes, I think first of all, I want to explain for investors what exactly we are creating. But I think if we have successful POC, proof of concept of our product, we would need to raise around $1.5 million. To expand in markets like New York and London City, we need to employ high-level guys from past banking, experiences, and to try to attract the largest asset management companies to join our solution. Because now we're just discussing and talking with them about potential partnership with them.
So from what you're saying, basically I understand that most of the investment will go into sales, and not so much into product development, right?
Yeah, sales and also product development, but mainly on sales, high-level sales.
So if I'm correct, the product is ready already, yeah?
No, now we have prototype of product.
Okay.
Just now to need to do credit allocation integrations from the banking partners. So now need to have agreements with the banking partners, allocate their credit systems into our platform, and to show for the client credit situation with the bank. So it needs to have communication with the bank, and also to allow for fund managers to put their algo trades into the platform as well.
How do you think your sales cycle will look? And how long
it is
takes
quite long. Yeah, it's quite long now. But I'm surprised because now when I'm reaching asset managers from United States, we are very positive, and it's quite easy to reach them. From Europe, also not so hard. For example, last week we talked with the largest pension fund from Switzerland, like Publica. So it is time of question, yes, but I think it is can be 6 months such time.
And I'm also interested in a little bit more in your product. So you basically don't have to create the liquidity kind of yourself. So by going to the end customers, you really can go to larger institutions, and then they're the ones that will create the liquidity in the platform. So in the end, you're kind of selling the technological solution to them, right?
Yeah, we are creating technology where asset managers can find for them counterparty liquidity. Liquidity is yours. Why you don't need to pay for the banks for putting your orders into the market. So you're just paying for the credit intermediation because there is counterparty risk existence. Yes, because some of counterparties cannot be on their obligations at the maturity date. So that's.
Yeah. And can you comment a little bit how you came up with this kind of a business? So does it come from your more previous experience? Can you just shed a more light?
Yeah, that's a good question from my experience, because I'm always, when I'm working with currency risk management for more than 10 years, when we have clients in asset manager or fund managers, this is a situation when the flows or the workflow, how we manage currencies are the same. Fund managers in the United States do the same, European do the same. We are just not trying to speculate the markets, but we are doing passive hedging. So the same investing in ETFs, we have, or share classes. So now the same we have on hedging. Passive hedging is more and more popular amongst asset managers. So we are just eliminating market impact for large guys, because when we put big positions into the interbank market, that can move market a lot, and we lose money on that. And also do savings for that. So savings, it's not the main problem, but I wanted to present in more simple way, but savings is the main problem, but market impact is more problem for them.
Thanks.
Thank you, Dana.
Thanks.
Actually, it's not enough 7 minutes for us all questions. So you have his contacts, connect him on LinkedIn, and then dedicate 2 hours, and you will understand everything what he's creating. Okay, now I want to invite another team, which is Vidido, and the future employer of every creator.
Every video creator,
right?
Yeah,
okay.
Vidido. Hi, so I'm Jonas, and I'm from a company called Vidido. So have you ever seen a video advert on your Facebook or Instagram feed? Well, of course you did. Videos is the main driving force of pretty much any advertising campaigns these days. The problem is that businesses are stuck at scaling the video advertising. And according to the Wall Street Journal, over the past year, e-commerce businesses have almost doubled, making video advertising on its biggest demand ever. And as I said, the problem is scaling the video production. Companies are just stuck at finding good creators that fit their product. They have to deal with tens or even hundreds of invoices every month, and they get stuck in communication with creators, needing to explain the briefs over and over again. And you may ask, why just don't use traditional video agencies? Well, simply because they suck. The performance of the videos created by agencies is just not as good as the ones created by independent creators. That is because they lack personal touch. I'm very proud to introduce Vidido. We are here to make video crowdsourcing possible. So let me explain how it works. So the client is able to post a brief on our platform, and our AI system matches him with the best-fitting producer. The producer, in turn, generates videos using our creator community, taking care of all communication and logistics. And once the project is done, our client is able to post tens, hundreds, or even thousands of videos at once through our unique platform. That is just super scalable. Our target audience is medium to big-sized businesses who need at least 50 unique videos every month. So Vidido just kills traditional video production by its scalability and at a fraction of a price. And we are already generating revenue. We are working on a project that is worth over 5,000 euros, and we are also in the process of signing another big deal that is expected to generate over 50,000 euros in the coming year. We work on a project-to-project basis, and our average project price is roughly 7,000 euros. We are a team of 3. I'm Jonas, a co-founder, a CEO, and a video guru at Vidido, and Tanas, who is a co-founder and our platform developer, and Guasta, who's our manager. Video is the future, and the ones who scale it win. We know how to scale it, so join us. Thank you.
You have even saved time for questions, so.
You're welcome.
Dear investors.
It reminds me of another startup called Billo. How is it different?
Yeah, so it is different because Billo is actually working with influencer, more kind of an influencer marketing. So it's just different kind of product, let's say. We work with clients that need technical video guys who understand what they're doing. And what Billo is doing, they're working with regular Instagrammers who can do, like, let's say, a commercial for a shampoo, but they can't do a commercial for a gadget that needs explanation.
Okay, also you missed the part with how much do you want to raise?
That is a good question, actually. So, like, as Danu said, we are also in the process of proving our concept. So once we know the concept truly works, we are definitely looking for investments, and we are happy to discuss that with investors.
So what is the actual business model? How are you planning to monetize the solution?
Yeah, so currently we're planning to work on a project-to-project basis, charging on each project, for example, monthly, but it can also be a subscription-based business model. So basically, for example, Vinted would like to have a lot of videos created by independent creators. So they can pay us a fee of fixed amount, and then we generate fixed amount of videos every month.
And how about the creators? How are they incentivized?
Incentivized, what do you mean exactly?
Like, do you share the revenue with them? Are you employing the creators? How does this part work?
Yeah, so basically, through our platform, they're able to apply for different briefs. So let's say we put a brief on, and they, like, thousands of creators can apply for the brief. We select the best ones for the brief, and then they get paid the fixed amount of price that we basically agree on in the beginning.
So basically, you plan to share the revenues with the creators.
Yeah.
Okay, good, thanks.
How do you think about the defensibility of your company towards the future? So it sounds like on the platform, like a couple of kind of secret sauces. So one of them is maybe the matching, though I wonder how much magic there is. But the other one is kind of the creators that you have, that they're a bit more specific group that can produce a higher quality video. So how do you look at being able to kind of keep them so that other platforms cannot easily poach them? Do you like have special tools for them, or just how do you think about it?
Yeah, so we were thinking about creating special tools. So basically, making their work as simple as possible, as well as enjoyable as possible. So we want to make it like a playful kind of work. It doesn't need to be like, I don't know, like hard work. It's all about playfulness and about easygoing vibes. So that's how we try to keep it.
And how about that magic of the AI matching a company and the creator? So, like, what's so kind of special? Like, how can you match better than a couple of criteria?
Yeah, so basically, how we match better is that our clients have their own best videos that they use, basically. So they have best performing videos, let's say, and they can add their videos, best performing videos, sorry, to our AI system, which then analyzes it and matches with the videos created by producers or video creators that are similar. So that way, the client doesn't need to browse through hundreds of creators seeing, oh, this one looks good, that one doesn't look good. So the AI basically does the matching.
Okay, that's very cool. There's a company called IM that does something similar for photos.
Oh, great.
But that sounds very cool. Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah?
Do we have more time for the questions? One more question?
The last question.
Okay, so, developing the model will be very important for you because this will be, as you have just explained, your main differentiator. But I haven't seen anyone on your team who actually has experience in building such models. So are you maybe looking for, team members? This is maybe a good place for you to invite someone to join.
Yeah, that is definitely true. So we would be very happy to accept any kind of help with our AI system. We do have a couple of freelance developers who are working on this, but we would definitely want to have it on a full time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jonas.
Thank you.
Put your hands together. Okay, and now I want to invite Darius. I imagine that every one of you have some kind of curtains at home, right? So Darius will present Curtains Calculator app. Stage is yours.
Hello, investors. My name is Darius. I'm from company Curtains Calculator. And Curtains Calculator helps to save hours of valuable time for designers in the window covering industry. The main idea of Curtains Calculator came from my own business. Back in 2017, our company was on a line of bankruptcy due to insufficient sales. And after the research, we found out that curtain shops all over the world share the same issue. Calculating takes time to complete. Human errors cost huge money to company, as much as calculations. And the whole process hasn't been changed up to these days. So we came with the solution of Curtains Calculator. It's a software-as-a-service, web-based application for businesses, and it works very simple. You can imagine a designer with a tablet or computer in their hands talking with the customer. Everything they need to do is to enter the window measurements, choose the right fabric and hardware, and the application does all the sketching and calculating they need. So it can create a quote for the customer and the workshop information for manufacturers. This is an example of manual labor versus our solution. And by the way, when we implemented Curtains Calculator in our business, our sales increased up to 200%. So don't you think it's a time to share our solution with the rest of the world? Our market target is curtain retailers or window covering industry, and the market size is $29 billion in US and UK only. And by the way, as you've seen in the previous slide, up to 90% companies still calculate manually with a hand and simple calculator. And since our market target is retail market, we are already offering a subscription fee-based model through our website, and our next step is wholesale market. So we want to create a marketplace for fabric distributors and retail shops. We are already working and talking with textile vendors in Europe. By the way, we tried exposition a few weeks before quarantine started. Anyway, the main traction to our website comes from Google. We do have competition in the market. There's not a lot, and since we know who the users of our application are, and it's a young creative designers and elder professionals who have 30+ years experience in the market, we try to find what correlates between those two generations, and we find it's simplicity. So we made the application so simple and easy to use, and get the calculations done with just a few clicks of a button. This is my team. It's me, Darius. I do have experience in this market, in business and interior textile industry for more than 10 years. And this is my IT prodigy, Thomas, who's in charge of technical department. Our current situation is main focus to UK market, where we are closing a deal with a company with 27 branches. So we seek to get 100,000 euros for app development and adaptation for UK market.
Show your contacts quickly.
So maybe what is the biggest challenge for you right now? What if could be solved, you would be like, okay, we're moving so much faster now?
Yeah, at first it's to fit in those 3 minutes, the biggest challenge.
Big challenges.
Yeah, and we do have MVP, and we're already offering for retailers. And actually, these days we are finalizing the final product. I know it's not final because we will work and develop in the future, of course. But we want to launch the product with a huge library and for manufacturers as well in a few weeks. So that's the main challenge to create the design and UI UX at the moment. That's where we are working for.
So actually, I'm in the process of choosing curtains right now. So maybe I should try to encourage my retailer to use your tool. But I was wondering, so when I'm discussing the curtains and everything, so a lot also depends on, for example, the ceiling, how it is put right, and the materials, not only the windows. So what type of data do you actually need that needs to be used on the solution? And also, how much manual work does it still require to go and actually do all the measurements? Because I think that this might be one of the biggest bottlenecks for the curtain retailers.
Yeah. Thank you for the question, because it's a great question. Actually, that's the main challenge to us to solve this whole process, because our product is supposed to be like get calculations and get all the process in just a few clicks of a button. And as I mentioned before, that those users of the application are young creative designers and elder professionals with more than 30 years of experience in the market. So yeah, that's the main challenge to get all the steps in just a few clicks. And it does everything, because it's business product like B2B application for those who are calculating all the curtains, all the designs and everything. And we implemented at the moment a huge library, so the fabric and hardware producers will be able to add the library for the retail shops. So the users, like employees, can use the library to show for final customers. So it helps a lot. It saves huge time, like hours and sometimes even days of whole process.
Honestly, I'm very surprised that it's a very big niche when you think about it, right? But how scalable is this thing, and what's your sales strategy? How are you going to grow?
Yeah, the market is at first it looks like a niche market, but it's a huge market and a huge potential. As I like to say, it's the less innovative industry in the world, like this window covering industry, and it's very big, honestly, in UK, United States, in Europe, and we don't even know what is inside Asia, because we get a lot of leads to our website, and anyway, our focus is to UK at the moment.
Isn't it like buying a car? You buy just one for your life with curtains, no? How often do people change curtains?
Since actually I can say, because it's a good question, since we do own a curtain shop since 2011, so our customers comes every 5-6 years. So.
And how often do you change your home?
That's a question. That's why I'm
Maybe
I'm
that's
asking.
the answer.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Darius, a lot.
Thank you.
And now I would like to invite Linas from Food Identity, and I hope that we will get some special offer or something from you.
We'll see.
We'll see. Stage is yours.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Linas, and I'm the CEO at Food Identity Test. And I have a question for you. Have you ever felt like your body is letting you down, and instead of feeling focused and energetic, you're actually feeling a little tired, maybe bloated, or have some acne? Well, it could easily be because of the food that you eat. Because globally, at least 1 in 5 people have some kind of food intolerance or allergy. And of course, most of us don't know the culprits and have not tried to resolve these issues. Well, that's why we created the Food Identity Test, which allows you to identify and address your food intolerance and allergies with the help from a medical doctor from the comfort of your home. The way it works, you use our blood sample collection kit. It's really easy to do at home. You just prick your finger and send us a few drops of your blood. We run the test at our lab, and when the results arrive, you get a video call from a medical doctor, usually an allergist or a dietitian, who helps you deal with issues that you're having, and of course can offer some treatment options if treatment is necessary. We do the test from a dry blood sample, which of course is way more stable than wet blood, and because of that, it's more suitable for shipping. We use a microarray of over 200 food antigens, and we use immunofluorescent analysis for getting the results. And this is actually how we can determine between food intolerance and allergy on the same analyte. Now, at the moment, we're actually the only ones in the market that have what we call the holy trinity of features, which is having the test done at an accredited lab, having guidance from a medical doctor, and being able to do all of this from the comfort of your own home. So we're feeling pretty special, not to mention the fact that we're the only ones in the market that can determine both allergies and intolerance from the same test. Our target customer, of course, is somebody who is wellness conscious and has had some issues that could have been caused by food, but has not found the source of those issues yet. And there's a lot of people like this, both in the EU and Lithuania, and the numbers are growing every year. Right now, we've been selling our food intolerance test. You can call it the pilot version of it, since December 2020. And in these 6 months, we actually generated over 150,000 euros in sales with this product. So now we're ready to launch this new product, Food Identity, this July, and announce our first partnership by the end of summer 2021. And also, we're planning to enter our first foreign market in the fall of 2021. The team behind this, well, there's the 5 of us. We're the core team, but there's actually way more because we're from a company called Immunodiagnostika, which is a Lithuanian biotech company that also owns the Allergomedica Clinic, which is an allergy clinic. So we have a lot of immunology, diagnostics, and biotech knowledge and expertise that we use in creating this product. So we're looking, of course, for investors and partners that could help us enter European markets, especially Northern and Western Europe. So thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you.
So I have a question on the competitive positioning. So right now it seems like your key differentiation is the fact that you send the kit at home, while some others are also, for example, providing the conference call, so it's not such a differentiation. Yeah. But how do you think about this in the future? Are you thinking of other product developments that would kind of make the user stick with you and really choose you so that you have even a longer relationship with the user?
Yeah, we're actually, well, in the long term, we're planning to have more of a long-term solution and to have more features to the products, like treatment options and partnerships that would allow people to really deal with issues, not just identify them. So we're looking into it, but of course we're planning to expand the product to the point where we don't have competitors.
Okay.
So definitely a big problem that you're trying to solve, right? Yeah. And from what I hear, it's very challenging for people in general to understand, what works best for them, and it's not so easy. How expensive is the product? Like, what do you charge your customers?
Actually, we haven't determined the exact price, but it's somewhere around 200 euros. So it's actually, I would say, affordable for the value that you get from the product.
All right. Yeah, well, it's quite similar to those allergy tests, I think, that you can also get at Untitled. And what are your margins? How much do you make out of this?
Well, actually, the margins really depend on the number of sales that we do, because these technologies cost a lot to develop, and it's been in development for more than a year now. So it's pretty hard to say, but when we're comparing the cost of the making of the product without the development costs, the margins are pretty big, of course.
All right. So maybe one last question from my side. What type of suppliers do you depend on? How much of the technology is built in-house and how much is outsourced?
Actually, we have equipment suppliers, and most of the proteins that we use in the tests, we're actually producing ourselves. Well, the larger portion. So we're trying to be as self-dependent as possible. But we're not, of course, an equipment manufacturer, so we're buying equipment to do these tests.
There is a startup called Robolabs, if I'm correct.
Revolab.
Revolab, yeah.
Revolab, yeah.
Yeah. Are they doing something similar?
Well, actually, they're offering quite different, the tests that they're offering, because they're doing general like health tests, hormones and stuff, while we're actually focusing on the immunological side of testing, which is, the tests are way more comprehensive, and there's more analytes in every test. So this is how we're different from them.
Because in this case, I have a feeling it's not very much difficult for them to also jump into this field. How are you going to defend it?
Well,
going to be cheaper?
No, I mean, if they want to jump into this field, if they want to make the product cheaper than ours, for example, they would have to develop their own diagnostic tests, which, well, I'm telling you, it's not that easy, because in the field of immunology, it takes a lot of time to develop a test with at least 100 or more analytes in it.
Okay.
By the way, we have our own lab, so yeah, that also helps.
There was also kind of a wave when these tests at home for understanding where you kind of come from were very popular and maybe still are. Are there any lessons you took from that piece of industry that you're also applying in your company?
Well, actually, yeah, the principle of having a test kit at home is pretty similar to like 23andMe, right? Of course, ours is done from capillary blood, so you have to actually draw some blood, which, by the way, is really easy with our test kit. But yeah, the similarity, of course, is that probably 23andMe pioneered this model of having a test kit sent to your home.
Anything that you think you need to do differently where they failed?
Well, they're actually pretty successful, so, well, I like that company.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Put your hands together.
Thank you.
And thank you. So, and now is the time thank you. And now is the time to change our investors. And thank you a lot. Thank you, Andra. Thank you, Milda. Thank you, Andres. I hope you enjoyed that. And now you are going to meet some teams. So new investors which are joining another six teams is Sandra Galbraith, CEO and co-founder of Innovation Accelerator Baltic Sandbox, the same organization as Andrius Milinavičius, which has just left us. Venantas Miškinis, Litban founding and board member, and Justinas Noreika, CEO of Vilnius University Endowment Fund. Welcome. Okay, and I forgot to invite the team. So, Justas from Aidoro. But please now focus on the screen and listen what Justas is telling, and take your phones or laptops and immediately place the order.
Right.
Justas.
All right, let's do this. Hey guys. Hi, my name is Justas, and this is the story of Aidoro. Gifts, blessing or curse? How often do you find yourself looking for a perfect gift to your friend, wife, husband, kid, or colleague? How often do you fail, and how does that make you feel? Let me ask you, have you ever received one of top 3 all-time most hated gifts? Clothes, mugs, and gift cards. So why do we keep on receiving them? How many of you still have a gift coupon that has more restrictions than opportunities to be used? All those bad gifts adds up. Hundreds and thousands of them makes up to 31 million euros of waste. And that is only Lithuania. No wonder that 40% of people are looking for alternatives. Introducing Aidoro.com, where you can order a true emotional surprise, unexpected and personalized video shoutouts from celebrities that you love. Actors, singers, sports pros, YouTubers, just name it. Already delivering amazing videos just like these every single day. Does that sound like a perfect gift for someone you know? I bet it does. We made it as simple as a couple of clicks. Just browse through the list, add details, pay up, and that's it. Our launch is rocking. In just 4 weeks, we increased our partners number by 2 times, got 4,000 visitors, and our first 1,000 euros of revenue. All of this with 0 marketing budget. 1.5 million followers. That is the power of our partners that we are monetizing on right now. And that is just the beginning. We're currently automating the way we onboard them. Once done, we will increase their number by 5 times, and we will increase our revenue by 10 times. All of this by the end of this year. We make money by taking 25% of each transaction. This is clear, transparent, and approved by our partners. Video shoutouts market has been validated by Cameo. We have our own edge. We will allow our partners to sell merchandise as a combo pack and a dynamic ranking to find best matching celebrity for your needs. Our team is experts of their fields. Ostea has extensive knowledge in international business development, Agle in PR and human relationships, Karolis in IT development, and I have marketing and startup skin in the game experience. We are here for the long game. Our main ask is simple: early stage VC to support us with 300,000 euros of pre-seed investment. In 18 months, it will get us to 50,000 euros MRR, launch new verticals, and start operating in 4 new countries. Kudos to the TechHub team. You're welcome to scan this QR code to subscribe and to get discount for your first order. Thank you. It was my pleasure. My name is Justas, and I'm open to your questions.
Perfect timing. Investors.
I'm curious how original the idea is itself, because you mentioned Cameo. So how similar or different is their idea? Because I mean, it looks pretty playful and original. But is it?
Thank you for a very good question. And yes, Cameo actually proved the whole marketing concept of this field. We tried to differentiate ourselves from Cameo and other competitors by allowing more products and more verticals than they currently do. So as I mentioned briefly before, we will allow merchandise to be sold through our website, and we will be adding a dynamic ranking to enter the name and the surname of the person to find which celebrities he or she follows, so you could get best fitting product for your needs.
So different business model, right? Compared to other players.
In essence, it's a bit similar. However, we always think how we can dig deeper and differentiate ourselves from Cameo and Memo through more complex solutions.
Very interesting idea, a huge market, I suppose. I'm wondering, how did you come up with this idea? And also, have you done a survey how much people actually would like to get such sort of gift from their, friends or relatives?
Thank you. That's a very nice question. Essentially, our team came up with the idea during a lockdown, and we had a birthday of a 6-year-old daughter of our team. And during a lockdown, what you can buy a child? Another frozen doll, right? So essentially, we did the initial reach out to one Lithuanian singer, Vaidas Baumila, and he agreed to do this video shout out for her for her birthday, and free of charge. That was super nice. And we saw the potential and we saw the market, and we saw the reactions, and based on that, and the virality that we got out of not commercial video production, we saw that this is something that we should dig our feet in as soon as possible. And we're very happy that after our initial test at home, in just 4 weeks, I think, we successfully been accepted in TechHub. So everything just matched perfectly.
What about the survey?
Sorry?
Any surveys?
Again?
Any surveys? I mean, have you done any?
Yes. So we did an extensive survey. It was around 300 people that we surveyed. We got the feedback that most of them are interested into alternatives of the gifts. They even made a list of their follow celebrities that they would like to get their video shout-out order from them. And that was basically a very small roadmap, which celebrities should we target first. So essentially, not one, but I think 3 or 4 of those celebrities that you saw on the big screen came essentially from that survey.
Okay, so how do you plan to acquire celebrities?
Sorry?
How do you plan to acquire celebrities?
That's the tricky part. Celebrities are very individualistic. Approaching them essentially is a very big task, and we're very lucky to have Agle on our team. She manages 50 celebrities right now. That's why we need the very big outreach to filter out those celebrities that are initially interested in. That's where the automatic part is very, very crucial. But approaching them with a nice value proposition works for us right now. So essentially we say, you can monetize on those inquiries that you're already receiving from your fans, and well, you can monetize on them. And most of them signs up, but the roadmap is around.
So shout out to everyone who is watching. If you have in your social bubble some celebrities and you want them to help to increase their own revenues, tell them about Justas and connect with Justas as well. Thank you a lot.
See you guys.
And now we will switch to a little bit different model. We will go online and have a team which will pitch remotely, living in those times. I'm sure everybody are tired about that. Okay, so MITA and Marius, bring us your invention.
Hello, I hope that you can hear me loud and clear.
Amazingly good.
Yeah, that's good. So hello everyone. I'm Marius from company MITA, and today I'm gonna talk one more time about health check. So everybody of us are visiting doctors, but not everybody are happy with these visits. So first of all, it takes time because health checks are made in laboratories and hospitals. Second, few tests are needed to get a precise diagnosis. And third, one-size-fits-all approach does not satisfy patients. So what is our solution? It's a next-generation laboratory packed in the small home use device for everyday's health check. So first of all, you get personal laboratory in your home. Second, it provides accuracy more than 80%. Third, it saves time because you can make the test at home without physical intervention. So how it works? Person puts his body fluid sample into device analyzes sample and saves the data to the platform. In 5 minutes, person gets a health report in his mobile phone. There are magical things behind this solution. So first of all, we are using breakthrough analysis method called metabolomics. Second, we are packing car-sized laboratory in small home use device. Third, we provide instant tests without physical intervention. And fourth, reports analysis data about 100 diseases per one test. So we are targeting to the main 3 markets, USA, Canada, and UK. In these markets, there are about $100 billion spent every year for medical tests. And 69 million people are tracking their health every day. We plan to have about $6 million in first year of recurring annual revenue. So our monetization is quite simple. We sell devices plus subscription plans for various platform users. Our competitors are only indirect, and they are covering only small part of our solution. Our great team is ready to deliver. Oleg is our artificial intelligence and medical device guru. Redas is responsible for supercomputing infrastructure. I'm covering business development. Today we are in development stage, and we plan to have MVP in the next year, in the beginning of next year, and we plan to enter USA market in 2020 quarter four, excuse me. And for that, we will need to fundraise $360,000 for device MVP and patents, and up to $9 million for USA market entry. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you. Dear investors.
Thank you for the presentation, Marius. Very bold idea and big, but how do you know and how do you judge that the market and the users are ready to care for their health this way?
We see that investors are ready to invest already. We have talks with USA investors, which invest in biomedtech, and also we made customer research. So we see that in USA markets, there are possibilities that they are ready to invest in these devices. They are already checking with smartwatches, smartphones, their health every day. So it's the next step.
Okay, so why are you the best team to execute this project? What makes you unique and what are your previous achievements?
Okay, so first of all, we have quite a lot of experience in IT because it's the hardest thing not to have medical knowledge, but it's hard to know how to connect these parts together. And also we are on the way to sign agreement with one big research center in West Europe, which will cover this medical part.
Maybe to continue this question, how did you and your team arrive at this idea and decided to execute it?
Okay, with me is my colleague Oleg. So he is an idea creator. Maybe he can answer this question. Oleg, are you online?
Yes, I'm online, Marius. Thank you. Are you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. So idea come after several years of research of point-of-care devices. We researched with colleges point-of-care devices and lab of chip devices. And what we saw that technology is on a major level to be capable to provide test on lab at home. So it's possible nowadays. So what we need for this approach, we need to have ion mobility spectrometry and ion spray technology that was developed as solution in 2014. So technology, as you can see, is mature and capable to provide new breakthrough solutions. So thank you.
Yeah, the product is definitely a great need of it, but it's a huge challenge to refine it and to prepare to the level it would be ready for the market. And the partners that you will have will help you to clinically prove it. Their importance will be significant. What about the margins? You mentioned about the price you are planning to sell. What about the margins? Of course, economies of scale will play a role here, but still, could you elaborate a bit on that?
Yes, economies of scale will play a major role for that. Also, we see that these margins can increase over the time because we are having subscription model. So customer lifetime, if we will manage the churn, it will be longer, and customer lifetime value can increase over time. I cannot disclose how to say the exact price of the device at the moment because we are elaborating and working on that. But we see that margins will be quite good, and also we see that there will be more revenue streams from, let's say, telemedicine, insurance companies, and so on and so on.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, and now I want to invite Tatiana from InnoBioStar, and I really love to hear scientists pitching. So Tatiana, stage is yours.
Thank you. We all human killing our planet every day. We cut trees, create enormous amount of waste, burn fuels. We have to stop. Otherwise, someday we will totally kill the Earth, and we don't have planet B. I'm Tatiana from InnoBioStar, and today I will tell you how we can help to save the future. Machines are burning fuels, they have leakages and cause small and big disasters. To collect fuel waste, modern industry mainly uses chemicals. They make fuel waste heavier, It sinks to the seabed, but does not solve the problem. And we found the solution, MITA, Aerogel. It's a waste paper-based material, highly efficient, biodegradable, and reusable. It absorbs only fuel, but not water. It locks it inside and does not allow to make spill again. So we offer to the world the best way to remove oil spills. Production technology consists of few steps. Each of them adds new properties to make product best on the market. We take waste paper, mix it with the water to reach uniform distribution. Afterwards, we freeze drying to create extremely high porosity and modify surface to absorb only fuel but not water. Finally, we integrate special microorganisms inside the aerogel to make the biodegradation process even faster. Aerogel, in comparison with other products on the market, is twice more lighter, twice more effective, 100% sustainable, and up to 5 times reusable. All these make Aerogel outstanding product on the market. Market is huge, and it will grow even bigger in upcoming years, and especially in the field of sustainable sorbent. If we take only 5% of the pie, it will be more than 8 million, and we can get more. Being innovative R&D company, we are not planning to produce aerogel. Instead, we patent filed the technology and plan to license it. Based on review of the similar licensing cases, we set license fee of 500K and additional royalty fee based on sales amount. We plan to get up to 5 million in 5 years. We believe in our success. We have a great team of professionals. We have patent filed. We are going through boosters. We have positive responses from experts. And we believe that Aerogel could help to save the future. Join us.
Thank you, Tatiana. You even have saved some time.
Very interesting. Thank you for your presentation. I'm wondering, have you identified your target client, and how are you going to acquire them?
Yeah, it was a long story, and first we are focusing on shipping, actually. But as an R&D company, our client will be the company which will buy our solution. So I don't know, did I answer it? So, okay, I will maybe tell a little secret for you. So now we are signing an agreement with one manufacturing company here in Lithuania, and they will be able to produce this aerogel. But this kind of sorbents is very popular in shipping sector. For example, each ship on board has to have oil spills response kit. So this kind of product could be using on ship on board. But also it could be a big leakage at sea, and the special companies, they are doing this response. If you have garage and your car, probably you need also aerogel, because it will help to clean up the spillage. So I think that market is huge, but we are interested not in the end user, but our business is B2B, and we are searching for the company who will invest in our invention.
Yeah, my question was, is it totally different technology, or is it some modification of existing technology?
This is something new, because we are patenting this technology in the European Patent Office. So this is a real invention. We have a lot of product on the market, and they are mostly synthetic. They are not environmentally friendly, and our solution is environmentally friendly and sustainable, as I mentioned.
And just to follow up quickly, and economically, it's also practical, price-wise, and so on? How does it compare to existing solutions?
Yeah, to know the real price, we don't have existing technology. The company which would like to produce this aerogel should invest in the technology. And the company which will could produce our aerogel, they want to calculate the price, and that's why we signing an agreement, and we will see after 3 months what will be the capex and what will be the price of the final product.
Who are your biggest competitors on the market, and how big are they in terms of money?
We analyzed at least 20 companies who could be our competitors. The major competitor is, for example, 3M. It's a US-based company, but they are not so good as we are. We are sustainable, we have a bigger efficiency, so maybe it will be interesting for them. Also, we think that we have indirect competitors who are working with synthetic sorbents, and maybe in the future they would like to change the direction and to be sustainable. So.
Tatiana, it was quite nice approach to tell the secret in front during live stream.
Yeah, it's a
and
big secret
just
now.
Public stream, and it was a secret. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot. Woo! And now we are going again online, again remotely, and I want to invite Olegas, the Creator Academy. Olegas, are you with us? Yeah, I do see you already.
Hopefully. Yes, that's how we look. That's how we look. Hello, people. My name is Ole, and I'm on my last day of self-isolation. And I'm pitching remotely, but many of you are in the room, and do you think that actually myself connecting over Zoom is normal? Like, that I am the new normal here? Do you agree that in our post-pandemic world, remote and online are the normal, that the definition of essential skills now is just different? I'm sure you can relate that many top jobs now require employees to be able to do memorable presentations, just like myself right now. Many top jobs and D2C businesses now require a community, a video channel, a podcast, YouTube live streams. These are new essential skills. New essential skills in the post-pandemic economy. But so how do you learn these new skills? Oh, obviously, you use online. You can watch whatever YouTube videos, so also some annoying ads. You can pay a small fee and get recorded tutorial videos, or you can pay a bigger fee and get a live online class. We at Creator Academy are launching community building, live streaming, podcasting, online relations class, and we have monetization across all these channels like YouTube, newsletters, podcasts, and we also use that as the top of the marketing funnel. And then we upsell to online courses and upsell to live classes, and then the B2B partnerships, they just fall on us naturally. And also remember this triangle, like each learning model just brings in naturally about 10K per month, just like when we launch. And we expect to grow further and scale well on the customer-facing side. And currently, we are focused only on the community building model and this learning program, but we also have launch customers for live streaming program and talking to potential partners to launch the rest. And I mean, just yesterday, we spoke to a company in Canada about making friends online. Perhaps it's going to end up in a new class too. And like people like you are there. Do you think, by the way, that making friends online is a new essential skills we have to learn too? Yeah, we have customers across all the channels, with a B2B side or bringing most revenue currently, but this should change. It's customers who should grow and like scale fast. And we're looking for a 150K investment to be able to launch the rest of our learning programs and podcasts.
Oleg, I want to stop you. I'm not sure if you are demonstrating right now the future voice, or it's somehow connected your presentation and the voice which we hear with your product at the end. But actually, for saving nerves of everyone who is watching and our investors, which I'm almost pretty sure we haven't understood anything. So we will make you the possibility to pitch, not live. But now I would like to invite the next team. And I would like to invite Robertas from iSupply. I'm not sure about the name of your startup, how you will patent it, but the stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. My story started from the napkin. Once I have visiting my friend at his bar and saw him searching all around and writing down something on the napkin. That's how the order for the good was prepared. My name is Robertas, CEO and co-founder of Intelligent Supply. Napkins, stickers, followed by tons of calls, mails, and messages. The problem is that service sector companies can't effectively connect with their suppliers. Time-consumed, miscommunication, human errors, followed by loss of sales. And there comes iSupply, filling up the supply chain management gap. Rather than calling 10-15 suppliers, you can easily place multiple orders by just few clicks on the app. We do believe connecting all players of the field in one system will save time, money, and will make all processes controlled. Some features like invoice integration, real-time prices, and stock states will save time and will make ordering easy. We're starting in HoReCa sector. Our target market is Europe with over 1 million customers, and launching Lithuania will reach 2,500 customers in all Baltic states, with a revenue over 700,000 euros per year. Other countries will follow. The benefits of the system are mutual. The suppliers and customers will be charged for subscription and other features. Several young companies are working in the US market, and they are our indirect competitors. This market is huge, and even during pandemic, one company similar to us raised over $30 million for the going on. So this market needs changes, and we will make changes in Baltic states and in Europe. We already have several suppliers ready to pay. Over 20 early adopters helped us to test the system in the market, and investment will help us to launch Lithuania in the third quarter and the other countries later in the year. Our team, co-founders Robertas, Andrius, and Davidas, and our new member, Indra, that will cover the last goals in the team work. We're raising 250,000.
Sorry for being so rude, but now time to investors, and maybe they will ask those questions.
Okay, this market is basically overcrowded. How are you going to go to market? What's your go-to-market strategy?
That will be a mostly direct approach, and together with the POS systems, integrating in those POS systems. And the other way, it will be going together with associations.
So how long does it take you to make one sale, and what's your customer acquisition cost?
Sorry?
How long does it take you to make one sale, and what's your customer acquisition cost? How much it costs you to get this customer?
We are calculating about 60 euro for one customer, but the customer will be for the long time. In timing, One customer will take about 2-3 visits. Later, that will be automatically.
Thank you for the presentation and for the ambitious plan following. In the following years, I saw millions and millions of euros in revenue, so good luck to you to achieve it. What would be your competitive advantage? As a colleague said, that the market is really overcrowded at the moment. So what would be your competitive advantage which would help you acquire these revenues?
Really now in the Baltic states and in Europe, we do not have direct competitors. As I said in the previous, now the system works like napkins, stickers, and calls, a lot of calls. We are trying to make this very easy in one system where you can make orders during night, after your work, early in the morning. So at the moment, we do not have direct competition here in our market.
Yeah, HoReCa sector definitely needs help after the pandemic. But my question is, what makes you confident that you and your team will be able to execute on a wider stage, European or global, especially given that some other teams have a head start?
A very good question. First of all, a lot of companies, for example, suppliers in Lithuania are worldwide companies. So signing with them here in Lithuania, we very easy go to another markets. The other side, bars, restaurants, they are very open, friendly, and very easygoing guys. So that's just fun to get with them.
For sure, yeah, the bar crowd, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all? No more questions? Okay, thank you, Robert, that's a lot. The sector is opening again, so let's hope that we will need you. And now I would like to invite Benme and Thomas to present it. So everybody who is somehow or employee or employer, you may be interested in that. Come here.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Thomas. I'm from BenMe, the employee benefits SaaS. And in BenMe, we increase employee engagement through offering better benefits. So the problem that we are trying to solve is that companies are spending money on employee benefits, but they don't achieve the employee engagement that they expected. And the reasons for that is that the same benefits for all employees don't engage them all, or if the company wants to offer different benefits for every employee, it just takes too much effort. So currently, industry agreement is that the best way to solve the engagement problem is to provide flexible benefits, and that means that every employee can choose the benefits as freely as possible from any supplier. But that actually creates a chaos, and there are a lot of suppliers involved, a lot of invoices involved, and so on. So this is where BenMe steps in, and BenMe takes care of all of that chaos as becoming the single supplier for the company for anything that is benefit-related. The value that we propose for the companies that are using BenMe is that we increase the employee engagement while reducing the number of invoices for employee benefits and also reducing the amount of administrative work needed for managing your benefits. So how does BenMe do that? BenMe actually provides a software as a service solution, and this solution allows companies to set up the budgets for every single employee and rules on how employees should spend that budget. Then employees can purchase the benefits from our marketplace, from the suppliers we provided. And then BenMe provides only a single invoice at the end of a billing period for the company for all the purchases made by employees. And company only pays for what was spent and doesn't pay for the budgets remaining or anything that was not spent. Our business model is actually pricing per seat. So we are charging 10 euros per employee per month, and we're also offering a free tier with limited capabilities. Our ideal client profile is a company that already has a benefit budget. That means they are already familiar with the benefit culture, has at least 50 employees, and spends at least 1,000 euros per employee per month on benefits. So the market size for that is around 100 companies in Lithuania with 25,000 employees, and 2,500 companies in Baltics with 60,000 employees. We are facing some competition, and the competition mainly comes from benefit administration software, which offers a do-it-yourself approach for this, and there are quite a lot of companies for that, and also perk or discount benefit providers. So what we have accomplished so far, we have a working MVP, and we have already 2 clients that are piloting, testing our MVP and purchasing benefits through it, and we are also currently dealing with 9 companies and trying to convert them into paying clients. And this is where our growth opportunity comes in, because our team is currently comprised of 2 members, me and Irma, and currently we have too much interest in us than we can handle. So we are looking for investment that we would use to employ more employees and to increase our selling capacity. So, thank you.
Perfect timing. Thank you, Thomas. Questions?
Okay, so it's a red ocean, and a lot of companies are there in the market. So what makes you the team to kind of get this market?
We actually, there's the product that's quite unique, because companies what are currently offering, they're offering a do-it-yourself approach. That means they give a tool, and the company that purchases the tool does all the benefit management themselves. That means that the company needs to provide all the suppliers for their benefits, then manage all the billing for benefits, purchase the benefits, and distribute. So what we are offering instead, we are offering, we will find the suppliers for the company, we will purchase all the benefits required for the company, we will distribute them for the employees. So that's why we don't create additional work for benefit management for the company that uses BenMe.
Okay, that was about the product. But at this very early stage, investors actually investing in founders. So the question is, what makes you the team?
Yes. Okay. So yes, I didn't have a slide for this. So currently, me myself, I'm a CTO. I'm a technical guy, so I'm just responsible for development. But my other co-founder is Irma, and Irma has over 10 years of experience in insurance brokerage and consulting HR companies, and she was primarily consulting companies about how to implement their employee benefit programs. And she was the author of this idea, and she came up with the idea from her work experience of consulting business.
Yeah, this is the most fast-paced presentation. Thank you. It will take time to process. But my question was just to follow on. So you actually do procurement. You don't just simplify the processes technically, but you actually procure the benefits for the companies as well.
Yes.
So kind of a marketplace also for the benefit providers.
Yes. So yes, we actually do all the procurement, and because of that, one advantage that we offer is that we bundle up all the purchase invoices into a single one, so it's easier for a company to manage. And we offer sort of a free marketplace for benefit suppliers. We are not charging any commission fees from the suppliers, so that's why we are transparent with the companies that use our solution, is that we don't prioritize any suppliers that offer us better commission or anything, because we just allow it to be a data-free marketplace and just for suppliers to offer the best benefits they can.
Have you identified what are the favorable benefits employees are expecting, and are you planning somehow to capitalize on it? For example, getting some discounts once you get big, or somehow some other ways?
Yes. So what we managed to identify so far is that very favorable benefits between the employees are the food catering services, and not food catering, but the food delivery services, because they are relatively cheap, and the employees maybe receive for instance, a use case is that employee receives, let's say, 100 euros at their birthday as a birthday present to spend on the benefits. So employees like to spend that on food delivery services and all those like small benefits that they can readily use. They can just redeem at some other provider and just readily use that. Yes, so that's my insight about the most favorable benefits between the users.
Okay, so are you raising money, and how are you going to spend the money that you're going to raise?
We are raising money. We need around 100,000 euros in investment, and the investment will be spent for employing more software developers just to increase to develop our product better, and then employing customer success manager, because due to the nature of our business, because it involves some kind of a consulting process, it needs some consultants that would help the companies to start using the software, because it usually involves some change in the processes the company done before, and how a company starts doing everything after using BinMe, starting to use BinMe.
Thank you. And I know that it's really difficult to listen to 12 pitches in a row, but now we have, I would say, a game or a test. Now we will measure the level of our patience, because we will give a second chance for Olegas and his Creator Academy. Because, like Olegas, we decided that being in self-isolation is already to be punished. And now
Wait,
it's even...
So you heard me. You told that I was
you are on board again.
Untalkable. And so, do you, I mean, wave, clap, something, do some noise, like, do you understand me this time? Woo! I'm back from the future. I'm back from the future. So, in the future, Zoom still doesn't work, so it's still bad. But in the future that I'm back from, people still use Zoom for communications. People still use Zoom for pitching. And these remote pitches are still normal. And they're still normal in the post-pandemic world. And remote and online are the new normal. And these just like skills are new essential skills. And live streaming and community building and being memorable over Zoom, these are new essential skills, and people, professionals, direct-to-customer businesses, they require these skills, like to build a community, to have a YouTube, to launch a podcast, and new essential skills, And how do you learn these new skills? How do you learn these new skills? Well, obviously you go online and you watch a zillion YouTube videos, or you can pay a small fee and get a recorded class, or you can pay a bigger fee and get a live online class. And with Creator Academy, monetize at all that. We monetize on top of the funnel with podcasts and media and newsletters, and we upsell to online classes, and then we upsell to more expensive classes like live, and B2B partnerships just come naturally for that. And like model like this, it actually grosses about 10K per month just when we launch. And when we launch more models gonna bring more money, and that's pretty much how we think about that. And currently we're focused on the community building model, this learning program, and we have launched customers for live streaming program. We're talking to potential customers to launch the rest. And I mean, like, even just yesterday, we spoke to a company in Canada about making friends online. Perhaps it's gonna end up in a new class too. Like, think, making friends online, is it a new essential skill too? Like, I'm from the future, it is, spoiler. We have paying customers across all our channels, like YouTube and like across all of that. And the B2B side currently brings in most revenue. And that should change, and as we launch our courses and the rest of our programs.
Thank you, it's time. And time for questions.
Okay, so I think it's been rehearsed, always to stop at this slide, right? Hi, Olegas, nice to see you here. So my question is, what's your current traction in terms of money? So I do understand that you have some community and users. Are you already selling something?
So, I mean, let's make a small pause and try to pronounce it loudly. We are an online school that has paying customers before we launch courses. Right? So how does it work? And because we can monetize, again, at all stages, right? At podcasts, at media, at, right? Podcast, media, online classes. So since we can monetize at all levels, we sell whatever we have launched right now. So right now we're monetizing podcasts and media. And we have signed with a big degree, so they distribute our classes.
And we have consultancy where we help people with communities and companies, we help companies with communities. And yeah, our community is paid too. So everything we do is paid. And people are happy. And businesses are happy. And we haven't launched the classes yet. But we're working on that. Does it make any sense? Since I don't have eye connection with you people, maybe I know. Oh, now I have eye connection. You look confused. What's wrong?
They're totally confused, Olegas. You are definitely from the future.
Yeah. Like, how comes we're making money and we're an online school that haven't launched the classes and we're making money? Well, because again, we monetize at all levels. We monetize at all levels. We do something, we have the buy button, people buy it. Because we have the community, it's sticky. Because we are online and we do stuff, people trust us. People want to buy classes from us because they see us on the internet. They see us as experts. And they have empathy, they have connection to us. So obviously they want to learn from us and not some other person.
Yeah, definitely the most mysterious presentation, but in a good way. So way to keep the suspense.
Oh wait, look, you haven't seen the hard slide.
I told you we were doing the test. We are measuring the level of patience.
Oh, look. Bonus points to those who can understand why we want to hire a philosopher and a comedian.
Actually, I had an actual question. So you're actually providing content, or you're selling to the... Are you just putting up or selling this content to the educational platforms, or
so
or
educational platforms want us make this content for them, and I probably cannot pronounce it loudly, but like, what are the details of the deal? But since what we're talking on the internet about is very, very new, very few people can explain how this works. Very few people can explain how communities work. And so we sell these ourselves, and we sell this via various providers, depending on who wants to pay us. And yeah, there is a line.
Okay, still have one question?
I just wanted to thank you. For the first time when you were trying to present, I was thinking that you are a true performer, and then for the second time you were presenting, I just confirmed myself that you are a performer from the future. So thank you really much. I would really love to hear about your story. I don't know if we have any more time to hear about it, but yeah, thanks and good luck.
Okay, thank you, Olegas. Actually, what I want to say that if our kids or younger generation would listen to that, I'm sure we would understand better. And personally, me, I thought that it will be the most difficult to understand what Darius is pitching, but Daniel, sorry. But this time it seems that our guy from the future. Thank you, Olegas, once more. And now we are approaching the second part of our event of Demo Day. And we are going to go not all together, group which has registered to Zoom together with Gleb Maltsev for his session. But before that, what I want to say, we will still be live. And you can communicate with the session all together in slido.com. #TechHub. Can I hear like slido.com? #TechHub. I feel like I am alone in the room. Can I hear slido.com? #TechHub. Thank you. I hope you remember now and you put send there at slido.com #TechHub. Okay, so now Gleb Maltsev has over 10 years of experience training hundreds of executives and startup founders who have been pitching for capital at Slush, Latitude 59, TechChill, or Login, or everywhere else. In his seminar, will feature real cases of startups that will help to uncover core messages, reinforce them with structure. This seminar is for those people, listen carefully, who have a solid idea but struggle to get people to listen and understand what it is. It's for those who want to make the most of the short time They have to bring their product to the ears of decision makers. Okay, so let's go to Gleb and Gleb, welcoming you, and the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Simona. Thank you for the introduction. Are we currently live? Can we hear a hello, just to be clear? Can some folks in the studio talk to me just now?
We hear you perfect. You are not from the future, you are from now.
Very good, very good. I have a whole text set up and tons of stuff. I gotta do a quick check. Now we have lovely people in the Zoom call. We have lovely people in the studio. We have lovely people looking at us from homes for the comfort and so forth. Guys, I train people on how to pitch. That's it. For some, it's a very clear, practical experience full of delightful, also fearful events. For some, it's a weird, trendy word that people don't understand. And in classic terms, this has to do with rhetoric. This has to do with a short speech, usually lasts anything from a minute to sometimes 15 minutes, but one of the most common formats is that dreaded 3-minute pitch. And so, but instead of telling you all the pedigree, all the companies I trained, all the years of listening to boring but also exciting pitches, I'm going to give you a practical example. Now, this example is going to entail one of the people in our call, one of the people who I literally I see in front of me. This person and I will gonna have a conversation. Now, yes, some of it is going to be a bit tedious. I'm going to be asking questions. The person is going to be giving answers. I'm going to be memorizing what that person is going to tell me. That's going to be about the business, who they are, what they do, why they do what they do, right? And what they're looking for, the proverbial ask, so to speak. Now, upon the completion of this 10-minute exercise, I'm going to pitch. I know that this is a conference of hundreds of people. I do this in private sessions for portfolio companies of major VCs, but it's a little, think of it as a magic trick. I show you practically how a pitch can be turned into something else. It will still be a draft, but it will be something else. On this note, I told the organizers that we'll have a period of maximum of 3 minutes when we'll have volunteers. So this is going to be a pretty direct conversation. Some people are not used to it, but I'm very hopeful because over the years I always get a volunteer. You can volunteer using that raise hand feature in Zoom, or you can just literally tell me verbally by unmuting your microphone or raising your hand physically if I could see you, right? So maximum 3 minutes, I'm going to wait, and then I'm simply going to transition, but I'm going to wait for a long time, so it's going to be a bit frustrating for some. I need a volunteer. This volunteer and I are going to have a chat. I'm going to memorize their pitch, components of it based on the Q&A, and then I'm going to show you how a pitch could be done. It's a super practical exercise. Very vivid too. Who would like to volunteer? Because I'm seeing, Carlos. Carlos, how's your connection? Just double checking because you're in the car and that's a very usual. I want to make sure the connection is stable. Can we do a quick mic check? If not, the person who's going to be after you is Katerina, just in case. Okay. Carlos?
Do you hear me well?
For now, there's a bit of a lag, and just to be safe, Carlos, I'll give you an opportunity to volunteer for something else a bit later, but may I take Katerina, because she's in the comfort of her home, you're in the car, you never know, just to be clear. Katerina, but thank you, Carlos, that's true. Katerina, it's your lucky day because you're in the comfort of your lovely home or office, I don't know. You're at home, very, very comfortable, very safe. Now, we're being live streamed, so this is always fun. Now, Katerina, I'm going to ask you a few questions. I'm going to set up my little timer here, just to keep it super specific and timely. I'm going to ask you questions based on a 4-point structure. 4-point structure, ladies and gentlemen, not too complicated. Who you are, what you do regarding your business, right? So I'm going to ask you about the Levered app. I'm going to ask you about why you do what you do. That's a tricky one and a very interesting one. And what you're seeking, what you're looking for. That's it. Right? But there will be a lot of follow-up questions, little sub-bullet points, but I will be memorizing what you tell me. Occasionally I will interrupt you, and that's going to be okay, right? I respect you, I like you, but I will need to clarify a few things. So if I interrupt you, don't get discouraged, it's part of the process. Now, are you ready, Katerina?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's set up a little timer, max 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Around the 4th, 5th minute mark, you're going to be like, what is this? Why are these two people talking? Please humor us. Please pay attention because after it, I'm going to show a pitch. Roughly 2.5, 3 minutes. Katerina, now what is Levered app? And am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yeah, actually Levered app, you can write it to words. It's like a travel app. So.
All right, what does it do?
So Levered app is an app that helps travelers to create ideal bucket lists. And with ideal bucket list, I mean, you can keep track of the things that you want to do on your trip, or plan your itinerary. And not only that, with Levart app, you can plan your trip in a couple of swipes and while collaborating with your co-travelers.
So the bucket list app.
Yeah.
I see. It seems to be a keyword you mentioned quite a bit, and so you can book this together with other people. Did I understand you correctly?
Yeah.
Understood. So it's a collaborative travel app for people who want to check things off their bucket list.
Exactly.
And we are very eager to travel, right? Especially the ones of us who had 2 shots and got vaccinated and can travel to a country with a low rate. I am, or let's say Croatia or Spain or something like this. All right, very exciting, very exciting. So Katerina, what's your background? Because, travel apps are, dime a dozen, and I want to understand whether you have anything in the background that led you to do what you do. And it's super, super interesting for me. So try to be a little more specific, not the whole, in 1999 I joined, right? I want a snapshot, right? So bear with me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, please.
So I'm from Greece, and what we do great in Greece, it's tourism. But not only that, back to 2018, I was an Erasmus student in Vilnius when I started to travel around the world. And as a tech girl, because I also studied computer scientist, I wanted to make travel for everyone easier. So I decided to grab 2 or 3 of my friends and tell them, guys, I have this idea. So together, we developed the Levart app, and we did it the idea that it's today.
And so how far back was this? Remind me, please, you as a computer engineer, how far back did you start the app, and you and your colleagues, please?
The app we started on 2020, actually, that we participated in TechHub.
You participated in TechHub, understood. So a year ago, so it's roughly 12 months, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
All right, so plus minus. And so what's the current traction of the company? How much have you, been able to hit the market? Because COVID has been a difficult time, and so I'm super fascinated. How does a travel industry company perform in these times? Please.
Actually, it wasn't that difficult because it was the right time for us. COVID helped us to find the test users and develop a bit faster. So we have tested in 500 unique visitors, and we'll keep going.
Understood. So you've been testing as 500 unique visitors, and Levart app is essentially 12 months ago, you're a computer engineer, and you're kicking this off. When are you launching? Just help me understand this. What's the roadmap here?
So we launched our first MVP on 15th of March, and we want to release in 3 months from now the second version.
Second version. Now, can you tell me a bit more about the features? Just a few killer features that you really have. Now, we are 3.5 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen. Soon I'm going to pitch. I'm collecting information from Katerina. It takes a little bit of patience, but if you do, you'll see what it's all about. Thank you very much. Katerina, so help me define a few killer features just to make it specific for me, please. Thank you.
So currently we have only the 3 cities like Athens, Amsterdam, and Berlin that you can swipe through suggestions, and you can just invite your friends and share with them the bucket list. The must feature that we need to add in the next 3 months is to invite your friends to collaborate and create together the bucket list for your next trip. And also we want to add some more destinations.
Understood.
Maybe
so currently,
Spain.
Maybe Spain too, right? So first identifying it, so let's say Athens, Berlin, and the third one was?
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. So let's say if I really want to go to the Van Gogh Museum and want to check this off, it's a very touristy thing to do. I can say to my group, they can make fun of me for it, and say, hey, let's check it off. Let's tick it off and see how it goes. Did I understand you correctly? That's the upcoming killer feature that you're going to have. But currently it's identifying, swiping elements and finding where to go. 3 main cities. Understood. Athens, you're an Athens native, if I understood correctly? You're from Greece originally?
Yeah, I'm from Greece originally, and I'm from Thessaloniki, but Athens is the capital, so we started from the capital.
I see, understood. So you've been a computer engineer by training? Did you build anything cool before?
Just in the university, university projects. But my passion was also always about being in the community and engage with the community. So I was early from organizing events and bringing the people together. So that's my part in Levart mostly, not the technical part.
Any cool people in the team? Can you, so you have co-founders, if I understood correctly?
Yeah.
Who are they?
So one is Vasilis, the co-founder. We started Levart from the beginning together. He's a software engineer. Currently, he is working at CERN in Switzerland. And we have also Anastasis, the third co-founder, that he is also software engineer and he's an ex-startupper, and both combine business and technical background, and currently works for Facebook.
Wow, you definitely know how to bury the lead there, but thank you. So you have one co-founder working at CERN and one co-founder working at Facebook, both engineers. We got some interesting stuff, I understand. So currently you're the co-founder and CEO, did I understand this correctly?
Yeah.
Very good. So have you worked with the two before? You're both studied together. Do you know how long did you know each other, guys?
We know each other since the university because we studied in the same university, but we started being friends around 2018 because Vasilis was also Erasmus in Vilnius, so I was eager for some advices, and I was like, oh, you need to give me advices. You were there. So we started hanging out, and I met Anastasis in the Greek way. Like, I was drinking ouzo in a taverna in Greece, and he was like in the next table, and he had like a famous friend. So I was like, oh, are you from the X Factor show? And we became like best friends from now.
3 years that you know each other, and you studied together for a year. So that's how you guys built this. So what's the mission for Levered App? Ladies and gentlemen, we're at 3 minutes left for this interview, and after that I'm going to pitch. Reminding you, you're almost there. Thank you for your attention so far, and I'm also seeing some questions, some lovely organizers shooting some questions, and I'm definitely going to be answering them. There's going to be some really cool tips after this. Katerina, please help me understand here. What's the particular ambition for Levered App? It's super important, so help me understand here.
So like our mission is to create like the best social travel experience for our users, for all travelers around the world. And hopefully we want to become the must-have app for each traveler. But
understood.
But not to be just an app. We want to build like a social network.
A social network for travelers. All right, very cool, right? So you want to be right there next to the TripAdvisors in terms of like the people, the apps people go through to make conscious choices. Very good, very good, very good, very good. Will you be fundraising in the next 6 months?
We would like to. Like,
talk to me. So which stage are you in? I'm trying to identify what kind of company is this?
An early stage startup, but in order to go further, we need an investment.
I see. All right, all right. Is there a particular top investor?
In order to grow our team, to cover digital marketing and infrastructure expenses, and hopefully in the next 12 months to reach 1,150K users.
150K users, a pretty specific target. 6 months, that's very good. 150K users, active users or total users?
No, active users.
Active, okay.
Not 6 months, 12 months.
12 months, pardon. Thank you for clarifying. 1 minute left. Thank you so far. Do you have angel investments? Do you have accelerators invested into you? Or it's currently friends, family, and fools? No investment at all?
Yeah. Not investment at all.
Understood.
At the moment. We have participated in accelerators, and just we are self-funding at the moment.
You have not participated or have in accelerators?
We have participated.
Which one?
Accelerators.
Which
TechHub here in Lithuania, and in Thessaloniki, OKTES.
Did they give you any particular equity investment? Or so your cap table is claimed, only 3 co-founders? Very good, very good. I'm getting an impression here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to pitch. I might throw a few quick follow-up questions to collect this, but I'm getting a pretty good idea here. I'm going to embellish it somewhat, make a few assumptions, Katerina, and let's see how it goes. Now, dear Zoom participants, thank you so far. Thank you very much. Dear live audience participants, your questions will be answered, but first, pay attention. I'm going to pitch Levered App the way I understand it. Hi, my name is Katerina, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Levered App. Now we're going to become the ultimate social network for travelers. It's a place where people can collaboratively check off things off their bucket list and decide where to go. Now we are currently looking at 3 major cities. We're looking at Athens, we're now close to where I'm from. We're looking at Amsterdam, and we're looking at Berlin. Me and my 3 co-founders know each other for 3 years. We studied together. All of us are computer engineers. One of us is currently working for CERN, another one for Facebook. We're super early stage. We have our alpha, we're working currently on it. There's a few killer features we have in the roadmap. Now, one of those that I really want to tease and want to give you an idea of is that you would be able to collaborate, plan a trip, go for the city, look at all the hottest destinations, places that locals know but the tourists don't. Now, that's exciting for us. We don't just want to build something that will be an add-on to TripAdvisor or you booking a car or booking a plane ticket. It's all of these valuable services. But we want to be a place where people meet, where people decide to live their life and travel all around the globe. Now, COVID brought a lot of opportunity for us, and we've been testing our early stage software with at least 500 active users. We've been visiting, we've been getting a lot of very valuable data, a lot of valuable information. Now, what we're ultimately really excited is the vision of a place, one of the top platforms, social media platforms for this type of traveling, engagement, lifestyle, and that's super, super exciting. This sector is exploding and about to go bigger. Now, we have the technical expertise, but what we really need is advice. We need people who've been there, smart money angels, now who are able to understand what it takes to scale a company to the level where we want to be. Now, we obviously don't have all the answers. We have gone for 2 lovely accelerators, one here in Vilnius, another one back in my home city of Athens. Now, this becomes very, very exciting for us, and we're looking to meet really good people. Now, what is going to happen, though, in the next 12 months is that we are looking to target at least 150 active users on our social media platform. That's going to take a lot of work. And apparently I disappeared in a most opportune moment. Testing once again. Uno, dos, tres. Hello. Interesting. All right.
We can hear your sound, but we cannot see you.
Very good, very good. Something happened, no idea. I have my normal and regular gear. I'm back in black, as they say. Can somebody please speak?
Hello.
Very good, very good.
Loud and clear.
All right, very good, very good. We had a few comments, but I want to hear from it, and I will be answering the comments in the Slido. It's very good that I'm seeing them. They're being transmitted to me. What did we just do? Please talk to me. Now this is finally brought back online. Thank you. Amanta, Justina, Vitenis, and Vladislav and Carlos, please verbalize, unmute your microphones. Please talk to me. This is part of the experience. What did we just do?
Do you want to hear what just happened about you being frozen, or do you want to hear about your pitch?
The pitch itself, Vitenis, please.
Well, the pitch was incredible because it was a journey. It was like a narrative which was capturing every step you were telling. It was more and more interesting. There was a little bit of suspense. There was a little bit of sort of personal details, but just the right amount, not too much. A good ambition, but I think maybe just sounded a little bit too small. 150,000, I hope, not 150. But otherwise, it was super incredible to listen.
Dennis, thank you very much. Obviously, we can make it bigger and understand the market size here a little bit better, an opportunity, but thank you very much, Dennis. Achu. Amanta, please, you are also about to verbalize. Let's do it. Thank you for being patient with the connection, please.
Just wanted to say that you're a great salesman. You know, your talk was very picturesque.
Picturesque. So there's visuals. Vita has mentioned storytelling. So we took Katina's story somewhat, put it together. It's a bit of embellishment. And so picturesque implies visuals. We can imagine how it was like. Anybody else? Thank you, Amanta. Hopefully I understood correctly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Achu. Anybody else? What are the functional components that we've done? What are the things that we just observed?
Maybe I'll just add one more interesting thing to me, at least, was
absolutely.
While you were painting a broad picture, global ambition, social network for travelers, etc., you anchored it in very specific points, so like a milestones, even if they're not, I mean, super large in a global scheme, but there are 3 cities which I heard, they're easily recognizable, so I could place myself in those cities, I can understand the value of them, and I sort of understand why they could be chosen. So it relates to me, you know, sort of like I can see myself in that story.
Understood. Relatability is a component. Very good, the tennis. I appreciate this. Thank you. Vladislav and Carlos, you guys are, well, on the quiet side right now, and I would love to give you an opportunity to speak. What did we just do? Thank you, Vitenis, once again. Thank you, Amanta.
Okay, I can add a few things.
Please.
It was very easy to understand you, starting from the very beginning. You introduce you are Katerina from the lever up. You talked not too fast. So after your presentation, I can memorize that you were you. And it's, yeah, the speed was very good. The wording was very good. You used strong words. So in total, I can memorize what you pitched, and that impressed me a lot.
Carlos, thank you very much. Achu. And finally, again, functionally, what are we doing? And so we'll be Katerina and Vladislav, but I want to hear from Vladislav. What did we just do functionally? Vladislav, please.
What do you mean by functionally?
So what are the components? What did we do, right? So what?
We lost you again.
Poor Gleb. I hope his Israeli internet is doing well. He's not getting fired with his rockets. The rockets there.
Those tres?
Yeah, we hear you.
I did a bit of tinkering. It should stabilize it. Normally, it's very stable. You know, Murphy's law. Murphy's law. It's always happens when it happens. Vladislav, my apologies for interrupting. I'd love to hear from you. Finally, function. What are the elements we put into the recipe, so to speak, when we made the cake?
Okay, so I understood that you show the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then you show that you put in a big effort. You showed that the team is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
There was Facebook, there was some other company, I don't know, and and that's it. Then you froze so we didn't hear the ending.
I see. There was an element of being frozen. I see. Very good. Well, it happens, but thank you very much for this, Vladislav. Very good. Now, let me give you a few practical tips, and there will be quite Q&A answers. So one of the issues that I see when I work with people, one of the key elements is that they focus a lot on the template. They create these slides, decks, so to speak, that all the PowerPoint templates, Keynote template, Google Slides, and they are, well, bluntly speaking, they're quite repetitive. And I'm going to show you some of the research, some of the data that I've been collecting on the subject. But before I even do that, I'm going to show you a basic triad. Super basic, super simple. And I'll give you a moment to quickly scan it, to quickly go through it. This stems from, well, classic Aristotelian rhetoric, Katrina. Right? This stems back to your home, Athens, if I'm not mistaken. Ladies and gentlemen, please have a look. Hopefully you're able to see the visuals, see the slides. Very good. So in a nutshell, 3 components: logic, emotion, and character. Now, predominant emotion, right in the middle, the pathos that people feel when they're presenting on stage or even a Zoom call, a lot of the time is nervousness, fear, right? Fear of public speaking, fear of presenting, fear of failure, all of that elements. Now, they also might feel very excited. Your body might be telling you, to amp things up, to speed up. Now, the logic component is usually the data, those TAM market numbers, serviceable obtainable market, all that lovely stuff. And eventually, some founders tell a personal story, share these components for me to be able to relate to them, how they discovered the problem. That's not always the case, and roughly 18 to 20% of the people tell personal stories based on my data, based on the pitching environment. Now, if you are there listening as a login participant, as one of the people that I got to hear, got to listen as part of the TechHub Accelerator experience, well, one of the things that really I want to bring out is that this pajagemus, this vulnerability, hopefully I pronounced that, being able to tell your story, being able to come out and say, this is what we care about, this is exciting. Some of you do, right? Some of you do it, but not enough. And I want to remind you of this classic basic triad. A good pitch contains a balance of the 3. Now, unfortunately, we have something else in front of us, and I'm going to share this to you. This classic, logic, emotion, and character, this balance doesn't happen. And instead, you have something else. And I'm going to show you data. I'm going to show you what really happens based on what I see live, what I see based looking at spreadsheets and software. Now, you might see a lot of numbers. They might all look very fancy and confusing. But in a nutshell, in the background, there's a photo of a man standing in front of close to 1,000 people. A man whose company, I think now, recently this year, raised 100 mil, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's called Stenberg. Now, this company ended up in the finals of Slush 100. If I'm not mistaken, it's maybe 2016, 2017, something along those lines. Slush is a big conference, very much the size of Login and a bit bigger. You have thousands of investors, thousands of startups coming in, flying in, and, well, networking, pitching, and you have some deals being made right there. And so every year, or maybe for the past 4 or 5 years, I had people who ended up participating, pitching as part of Slush 100. I see Login team is testing out the equipment. This is beautiful. Very good. So one of the things I can give you guys is that when you put all the pitches, all the Slush 100 pitches together, if you put them into a piece of software, into content analysis, you're able to look at what's being used. Those live 3-minute pitches that you saw, putting them at a conference, seeing what happens, have a look and tell me what you see.
Mostly looks like this is data and like fillers.
You have a lot of filler attendance. Very good. So a lot of filler in the pitches, right? We have the that kind of language. Thank you. Anybody else? What else do you see? Eamon, Vladislav, Carlos, what do you see?
I see a lot of analytical part, but not emotional nor personal story.
Understood. So we have quite a bit of logos. We have quite a few nouns. Very good. Very well observed. Anybody else? What do we see? Eamon and Katerina, what do we see?
Basically, I see also what Carol said, like about the keywords that all the time we repeat and repeat. So that's quite sad, actually. We have so many words that we can switch and say things different.
So, for example, one of the participants at least this lovely live session, we're talking about the people who are pitching before, was using the term easy to use software, if I'm not mistaken, easy to use. So the top 10th most frequently occurring phrase, some basic dictionary filtering, easy to use. People who are responding in the Q&A session, right, to the questions, thank you, that's a great question. That's a recurring theme. On the investor side, thank you for a great pitch. It's year after year after year after year. One of the years I listened to 47 pitches live, making notes, transcribing, all of that. Now that specific environment, when you're listening to so many pitches, I listen to personally 1,000, that's what an average VC might look at pitch decks, listen at all of these events. How does that make you feel? Imagine you'd be on the receiving end of all these pitches. How would that make you feel?
It looks like you're just reading template after template. Basically, everything is templatized, if you can say so.
Yeah, very, very monotonous, I would say.
Understood. So now we, ladies and gentlemen, I shared a problem with you. Pitches tend to be boring. Now, if you do source the problem, so to speak, root cause analysis, we might step to another element, and that is the template. The template that you're given when you're learning, it's a skill. You're analyzing what should I put there, right? Business model, market size, go-to-market strategy, all the usual suspects. You start with the deck. You start with the slides, so to speak. But how do you do it otherwise, right? So how do you, in fact, really do it without the deck? Because most of them use it as a crutch. Most of them use it as a safety rail, so to speak. So what do we do instead? And I want to give you what I used to do with a lot of the sales managers early in my career that I trained. We'll start with this sentence. Think of it as a basic mnemonic. I'm going to break it down visually, but just to have a quick look. Before you transition to the slides, there's a few more steps that I want to encourage you to take. This is for all of you. Now, most of the people, when they want to learn how to speak or do the presentation, they start with, oh, I'm really nervous. I need to do something. Right? And the thing is, it's not exactly about you. Yes, you are part of the story. Yes, you're presenting. But who is it about? It's the people listening to you. It's the people right now at the comfort of their homes, the comfort of their offices, in the studio. It's the people who are, well, potential investors, potential partners, potential users, potential people who are going to join your company, work, early stage employees. They matter. So in a way, you become, yes, part of the hero of the story and an asset to present because people invest in teams and they're never tired of telling you, team, 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 team. But it's the audience themselves that are the ones who are listening to a 3-minute pitch or a 45-minute keynote. And so what does it mean for you? Well, one of the things is that you've got to know your traction numbers, you've got to know your market size, you've got to know the key, metrics, ideas, elements that can help you. And that comes down to anything from the business model canvas methodology. This can be early feedback for an investor. This could be part of an accelerator. But a lot of the mistakes, especially in the Q&A, are done in this lack of research phase. There's some, but not enough. Websites like CB Insights, Crunchbase are booming with a lot of competition data. A lot of information, a lot of landscape information. You can be a secret shopper for your competitors. You can test out their stuff. You can find a lot of information by talking to customer support. Eventually, you need to do the audience needs, and then you generate ideas, then you test it out, then you filter, then you edit, and then eventually, right, for just verbal feedback or at least minimal slides, do you construct a full pitch deck? Now that takes time, and so I'm gonna give you a bit of a gift in that sense. I'm gonna give you insight into the mind of the people, the jury, the investors who are making these risky, high-stakes bets in your companies. Now, I'm going to transition quickly to a different set of slides. And so what I'm going to do is show you the most frequently asked questions that people on juries, investors ask, because I've done the same thing that I've done essentially with the pitches themselves. I looked at the most 7 occurring keywords in the jury conversations with investors. Now, please have a look, and I'm going to give you practical examples and some of the questions that have been popping up in the chat, in the Slido, hashtag TechHub. Very good, we have all kinds of questions popping up here. So one of them is essentially will be about how to, obviously boost confidence and not to choke, but all of this is part of the story. So these are the 7 most frequently used keywords in public pitches for startups. But now what they are, this is for Slush. What they are, they can be classified into 2 separate groups. And I'm not going to tell you immediately what they are, but I'm going to ask you to be detectives somewhat. Look at the clues. Now it's going to have 2 slides, real questions. I'm about to show it to you. Have a look. I'm going to give you time to read, and I'm looking at the questions in the chat so far. Please have a look. Please read through them. They're real questions asked by real VCs from real founders that are operating to this very day. Please have a look. Now I'm going to show you a second slide. This is the cousin, but this is different. Have a look. Now I'm going to show you the first slide once again, just for comparison purposes. And I'm going to show you the second. Now I asked the lovely group, the lovely volunteers that we have been having conversations so far with, what do you see? And it's an intentionally open-ended question, right? I want to see what you see, literally, the one I first saw it. To the tennis, let's kick this off. You're raising your hand, please.
So it immediately pops up to my head that the first set of questions relate to the opportunities, basically how the money is made. And the second set of questions is about risks, basically. Why would it fail? At least that's what it looks to me.
Absolutely correct. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the tennis, you're very astute, very observant, so I appreciate this. I chew for this. All of you. Now, this is based on data, I remind you. So there's years of monotonous transcriptions of people's conversations, including the pitches. It's a very rare thing to do. Takes a very special kind of person. Luckily, I also hired people to help me out with that. So I wasn't alone in love doing this. So one of the theories we explored is a theory in psychology that the Columbia University applied to TechCrunch Disrupt pitches, one of the most iconic events out there. And what they did, they analyzed 1,800 conversations. Now, in my data set, I have around 2,000. That's for Slush. One is for TechCrunch. The other one is for Slush. And so, but both theory and psychology, prevention and promotion focus is from that field, and they've been applied to both groups. So a promotion question, in a nutshell, is focused on opportunity. A prevention question is focused on risk and how to mitigate it. You've been hearing, consciously hearing the pitches themselves, and you saw that the jury was asking sometimes nicer questions, and sometimes they were looking at the risk. And one of the most common textbook examples of a risk-focused question is the competitor risk. It takes the shape of, this is a really crowded market, how are you going to operate in it? Or, have you heard of X, Y, and Z? Insert company name, brand name. Or, the 4 horsemen question. What if Amazon, Google, right, Microsoft, Facebook, and so forth is going to build what you're building? That's a killer, right? That's a common one. And in these conversations, these recorded conversations, you can get a glimpse into this dynamic. Now, one of the questions, I think this is from Eustace, and Eustace, hello, I think I know you very well personally, is like, if somebody doesn't believe in you. Now, they might ask you a prevention question. It doesn't mean always, of course, that they don't believe in you. They just might be very interested. But what makes it very, very interesting is that there's another study. And I'm going to give a citation for you, right? It looks like a lot of numbers. On the left-hand side, you have the TechCrunch data. On the right-hand side, you have my data. Now that number is 500. And so what you need to know is that the Columbia study, through experiments and also correlational data, and I can corroborate the correlational bit myself based on my data, found that 66% of all the questions asked from female founders tend to be prevention-focused, focused on risk. Now, I don't want to mansplain here, right? It's a touchy subject. I'm a neutral force. But I can tell you the number is not too far off for slush. It's around 61. Again, there's sampling error involved, roughly 4% if I'm not mistaken. But the numbers and the sample size are comparable. Now, what does it tell us? Now, it doesn't matter whether it's a female VC or a male VC. They're both as equally guilty and likely to ask a prevention question from a female founder. But the probabilities, ladies and gentlemen, of you getting a prevention question at slush will be like flipping a coin, plus minus 4% for sampling error. At TechCrunch, it's roughly 1/3. It's a high risk event, both for men and women, if you bundle the categories. For ladies, you're roughly 10% more likely to get them. But now here's the kicker. The Columbia researchers, when they were analyzing the TechCrunch Disrupt data, they found that for every additional prevention question asked, the founder went on to raise less funding. Roughly 3.5 million or so, but that's for mature companies of TechCrunch. For you, well, in a nutshell, your job is to play verbal judo, to flip the question into an opportunity. That's the same advice. That's the same prescription that the Columbia researchers are giving. That's the same prescription I give during my workshops. But what is the probability, for example, at slush, of you being able to do so? And I'm going to show you some charts, numbers, but I'm going to keep it super basic. Right-hand side box. Take a moment, just read this. And now I'm going to break down what the matrix means. And this is the money stuff. This is the stuff that really, really matters in the conversations, because the pitch is made or broken during the Q&A. Please have a look. Now the matrix, super basic. Top questions, left-hand side answers. So 80 to 85% of the question and answers match in terms of their promotion, orientation, prevention. This is true for TechCrunch, this is true for slush. So if you get a nice opportunity-focused question, guess what? Most of you will go and match it. Now, when you get a prevention question, when you get the one that is really beating up, the risk in your business, you're likely to match it and start defending yourself, justifying yourself. So 80 to 85%. Now, there's a rare group of people who are able to flip it. And roughly, it's a single-digit probability. It's around 8% or so. If you get a prevention question and you give a promotion answer. I have success stories and I have failure stories of this methodology. And this is where academia and researchers meet the practitioner. This is where the rubber hits the ground, so to speak. How do you do it? Well, I'm going to come back to you and I'm going to talk to you. Stories. The real ones. The one you open up. The one where you show who you are. Really. Who's Katarina? Who's Vitenis? Who all the speakers who are presenting, right? The proverbial team question. What do you fundamentally do what you do? Who you are, what you do, why you do what you do, and what you're looking for. Known as the ask. And I'm essentially trying to evaluate whether you have what it takes to build this company to become, well, sometimes over $1 billion venture. Will you do it in the next 5, 7, 10 years? Max. Do you have what it takes? And all these questions from market to data are essentially trying to put together pieces of a puzzle, like a crime scene, trying to evaluate it. What you fundamentally are the portfolio founder that is going to lead the company to that acquisition or initial public offering, maybe merger? Will you be the one? That's what this dance is about. And these questions sometimes, well, they're biased. They're not always rational. Sometimes they just simply feel that you're not there yet. Now, it doesn't mean you should be discouraged. You can try again. But you do better by doing the flip. And to do so, I do a very basic prescription, at least for the first level, because it's an elephant and you have to eat this elephant one piece at a time. Write down, based on those 7 themes, from market to data, right? We have customers, competitors, business model, right? People. I want you to write down the hardest questions, the hardest punches you can have towards yourself on a piece of paper. I want you to write down the answers, around roughly 60 words long for each. That's the average amount of words used for an answer. So not too short, not too long. So write down the 7 hardest prevention questions based on the 7 themes and write 60-word answers, treating every answer as a mini pitch. I repeat, the pitch can be made or broken in a public or private environment in the conversation, in the Q&A. The pitch itself is roughly 420 words if you get it right. Most of you, well, you had an issue with timing for what I've been observing and listening to the pitches. You can prevent that by simply regulating the amount of words in your script with some rehearsal. So 60 words for the answers, each, roughly 420 words, some deviations for the pitch. That will solve the issue. Now, Eustace, who asked the first question, well, that's essentially what you need to do. You have to flip the prevention question into a promotion answer. Now, dear Zoom audience that I see, is this ringing a bell? Is this resonating? You guys get me here? It's a test. It's a stress test on behalf of the jury. They're seeing how you react. If you get defensive, that's not in your favor. If you get arrogant, not in your favor. If you get super nervous, it's human, but not in your favor. If you cannot pass this test, well, how are you going to pass the next 5, 7, 8 years of hardcore scaling? Like Interactio, right? Ups and downs. And now finally massive growth from the 30 million round. This is what it's about. Logos, pathos, ethos, and that's ultimately who you are. What kind of character do you have? Are you strong enough? Are you intelligent enough? Are you emotionally intelligent enough? Can you lead people? Do you have the personal magnetism to get the best people to work with you? And that gets lost when people download a pitch deck template and just simply recite a script. We have roughly 5 minutes left. I agreed with the organizers because we started a bit later. And I'm going to dedicate this time to answering questions, not just from our lovely Zoom audience, but also people at home. Now, I'm a pitch coach, but I've been doing it for 10 years, and I've been listening to a lot of people, including your scientists, but also people all across the Middle East, all across the North, scale-up founders, Series A companies, early seed, pre-seed, large corporations, small companies, you name it. So I'm going to go one by one the questions, and ladies and gentlemen in the chat, in the Zoom, please think along with the questions. This is a rare opportunity. I'm happy to give my time. So I'm going to transition to the second question from Inga. Inga, okay, so I'm going to read this out very quickly. So Inga from our lovely Slido.com feedback session is asking, what to do if you choke in the middle of a presentation or important meeting, and how to gain your audience trust. Now, trust is ethos, identity, right? Do I trust you? It's a very big component. Thank you for bringing this up, Inga. Very, very, very lovely. So choking is a natural fight or flight response, freezing, essentially. And, well, short answer, preparation, right? You writing down the script, rehearsal, getting feedback, getting asked hard questions by yourself, your team, your mentors, your accelerators, and essentially bit by bit, this large elephant gets eaten. So short answer, no short answers, but there's very practical steps you can make. One of them is, for example, go to my medium.com/Gleb Maltsev, and one of the articles, how to survive the first 3 minutes of your speech. There's a little article, and it's like a short listicle, 3-minute read, that at least gives you a quick reality check of what you could be doing. It has to do with sleep, not drinking alcohol, drinking water, right? All that lovely stuff. So hopefully, Inga, you're still with us and I answer your question. One anonymous is asking, can you give some tips on how to boost your confidence before a public speech? I'm going to slightly repeat myself, but, well, essentially it's about prep. But confidence does come with time. It has to do with your amygdala. It has to do, well, in a nutshell, you getting used to it. But true confidence, guys, is not the absence of fear. True confidence is still feeling the fear and choosing to act. And control of that choice, or at least perception of control, perception of choice, is what gives you the ability to withstand the early 3 minutes of intense fear, if you have it. And over time, it will get better. But you need to prepare, systematize, gain that control, gain that skill, and over time you get better. Again, no short answers, but this is one of those components. We have Thomas who's asking, what do you do if you're terrified of public speaking? I'm getting a theme. It's one, as I told you, it's one of the most common things. Well, start a small audience, do a quick test, write it out, community hubs, so Workland in Vilnius, for instance, or if you're based there, maybe you can check out one of the Vilnius Tech City, right? Check out fellow founders, have a community event. There's Toastmasters in Vilnius. All of these are good venues, but ultimately get a crowd, small one, practice with them, feel the fear. Short answer, once again, no short answers, but it helps when you get exposure therapy, so to speak, when you expose yourself to the fear and learn to master it. There's also Mastering Fear, a good book that if you reach out on LinkedIn to me, I'm happy to give you. Hopefully we have this Thomas question answered. Gintar is asking, what is the fine line between being confident and showing off? Very good question, Gintar. So arrogance is what you're referring to. And to avoid being arrogant is intellectual humility. You can do anything from a basic SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and trends, down to essentially self-awareness, understanding, maturing essentially as a human being, understanding that you have your limitations, but also not discounting the strengths. Empathy fundamentally though, caring about others more than yourself sometimes, caring about the mission, the purpose, and the purpose essentially reminds you of the goals, that there's something bigger than you. That's purpose that can also give you that confidence to survive with, the stress, the fear, and all that. And purpose is something we create. My purpose is I help you guys because I feel responsible that you guys are eventually going to take the time of, many people, gain the trust of early employees, investors, and so forth. Many of them I know myself. Purpose, guys, that will help. Finally, Monica, final question before I transition to the chat and we wrap this up. How do you decide if you should dress very formal or semi-formal to pitch investors? Semi-formal is good. Comfy. If you feel comfortable, still, proper wearing a shirt. I mean, I'm a dude, so I don't want to give advice to any form of female on how to dress. It's not my particular case. I learned how to sew, so I made a suit jacket. I have a Japanese hoodie, sweatpants. I learned how to make stuff. But what I'm going to give you is comfort, right? So heels, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, for instance, heels make a lot of noise, although sometimes you love heels, but maybe on stage environment, wearing good kicks, sneakers, and I know Vilnius is very big on hot sneakers. Haaland, whoever is wearing Jordans or whatever, sneakers are good. They're good office wear, they're good business wear. Ladies, men, be comfortable. You'll also make less noise on stage when you're walking in, So that's my answer to the chat. Slido, feel free to, of course, ask the final ones. And finally, from Big Tennis, what causes to ask prevention questions? Well, simply put, it's a complicated question, but they simply have doubts. And doubts are not always bad. Doubts might be healthy, but sometimes they're biased. Sometimes it's biased, sometimes it's absent information, sometimes it's the pitch that simply was not clear enough, sometimes you spoke too fast. It happens. All these components can come together. Eventually, is that they don't trust you. They don't know who you are. And so they're trying to kind of, pick, choose, and so forth, and filter. Sometimes it's just force of habit. All of these can be viable explanations. But what's more important, all of you, and I'm going to wrap this up now, is to focus on opportunity, to focus on the real case, focus on who you and the team are. Know your strengths and weaknesses. Be judicious to a degree. Not all of it, obviously, not share everything, but open up. And that's what is going to give you eventually the guts to speak. And if you have any other questions, guys, Gleb Maltsev, find me on LinkedIn, ask me a direct question, and I can send you those promised links, share a few books that can get you on the journey. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for sticking around. Connection challenges are always a challenge, but in this case, we fixed it. Guys, thank you for the pitches. Looking forward to the winners. Looking forward to hearing more from you. Please, linkedin.com/Gleb Maltsev. Please connect. Ačiū, ladies and gentlemen. We are done. I thank the Zoom audience. I thank the slide audience. I thank the studio audience. And I give it over back to Simona.
Thank you, Gleb. I'm sure it was very inspiring for everybody, and now you will get 1,000 messages to your LinkedIn. So be patient. Again, we are talking about that. I'm not sure if you missed me, but I missed you, definitely. That's why I came here. So now, that's the time for the third part of our event. And the most important part, because now we will hear who are those 5 winners, who are those 5 most innovative and promising solutions and strongest teams. But before that, I would really love to say a big, big, big thank you to all mentors who are mentoring during the journey of entrepreneurial journey. Woo! And what I would really like to tell, that altogether they carry more than 60+ years of entrepreneurial experience, boosting startups, mentoring, and the most important thing is that we are not talking about theory. All those people you see here in pictures, they're real entrepreneurs with their ups and downs, real practitioners, and they're bringing it to you. So stay tuned. And if you still want to join the pre-accelerator, TechHub is waiting you. Just don't forget to follow us. But before, again, only before is that. So before they go to the winners, I want to go and talk and have a small talk with Nefishek, Soleimani Ashtiani, sounds like a song, oh my God, from Vet for Call, and Karolis Šerbauskas from More Intellect. For you to know who are those guys and why we want to talk to them, they have graduated already TechHub pre-accelerator during the first cycle. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I have a few questions for you guys. Why have you decided, and if we go back like a few months ago, right? Half a year, I think, right? So if you go back to that time, why you have decided to join the accelerator? Because as far as I know you, for example, Nefishek, you are going through all accelerators
Yes,
and
absolutely.
through all boost camps.
Yes, as a women entrepreneur, I believe you need the locals and you need the mentors to complete your business model. And anytime you are working on the value proposition, still you have to work again on it. And from the time which I started my startup, I have done the 2-time pivot. One time was doctor for call. I pivoted to vet for call, and with the TechHub, luckily we have changed our business model. We made it sustainable. We made it B2B, and vet for call is now a SaaS platform, B2B, which giving the services to veterinarians globally, especially in Lithuania, and we are making the big partners with Lithuanian veterinarian in here, and we are expanding fast.
So if I understand correctly, even if you had that product, let's say before, pre-accelerator will help you to transform into sustainable business model, right?
Absolutely.
Nice to hear that. Keep it in mind, guys. Okay, Karolis, and what is your why you have joined pre-accelerator?
To start with, my journey with the TechHub started in October last year, 7 months ago, and it's the first time when I meet someone live from this amazing community. So I'm very excited about that. Thank you for inviting me. And thank you. And I am even a bit jealous for you guys to have this live event, all the adrenaline and so on.
Don't be jealous, you are here.
Yes, I'm super glad you invited me. My story is quite the same. Before joining the TechHub, I already had my own business, my team, my software, paid clients, and so on. So I was thinking I should allocate my full time for the business, or I should take part of the time and put it to the TechHub. And I was thinking actually heavily, and I thought I want to improve my business skills, I want to expand my network, I want to meet all the talented mentors, and I joined. I was lucky enough to participate, and I'm super happy to be a part of this community. I think that I am much stronger as a person and as a team after this pre-accelerator.
So do I understand correctly that you feel the value not only for your business, but for you as a person as well?
That's for sure, definitely. Lots of new friends, lots of new knowledge, experiences, and so on.
Yeah, and we expand our network as well, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, but if we move a little bit to challenges, because you are quite young businesses, right? Based on innovations, which is also the thing which you need to develop a little bit, right? What were your, or still is, biggest challenges which you face?
Our biggest challenges, because we are foreigner, a sort of foreigner in Lithuania, it was a language. And we needed local people to help us, and TechHub and these teams help a lot regarding a language. They, especially Gediminas, help us to find a local person to translate, to help us to communicate, and it was a great to overcome this challenge.
You always have an opportunity to learn Lithuanian.
Absolutely. It's honest, it's a really difficult one for foreigners to learn, but absolutely, I would love to learn.
But I'm sure you know more in Lithuanian than I'm in Iranish. Okay, and yours, Karoli, what are biggest challenges?
Lots of them, actually. Of course, we want to grow big. We want to become a strong international business, which brings clear benefit for the customers. So my biggest challenge is to get more clients. We are signing new agreements, but of course, we want to be faster.
Okay, and there were any special moments when you surprised yourself, or let's say you had less expectations, and during pre-acceleration or after acceleration, you felt that, oh, okay, I did it?
Yes, it was. You are thinking that, because we had a startup before, and when we entered to pre-acceleration program in TechHub, I was thinking that, okay, we have everything, but really not. You learn a lot, you change a lot, and even the value proposition will change as per the experts. They have really good experts to help you. They are really friendly and really knowledgeable people there.
And you, Karolis?
Yeah, actually, I was astonished. Lots of time, mainly because of the mentors, local ones and international ones. They really prepared a lot, and it feels that they really care about you. They try to help you, and all the TechHub team, you can write them an email, they will try to solve your problems and so on. I even said for my friends 3 or 4 times, oh my God, these guys are really trying a lot to help us. So,
do you want to say that even if you are graduated already from the pre-acceleration program TechHub, right, you still receive a lot of support from the community?
That's for sure. One of the mentors, Tal, is my mentor at the moment. One lady, Indra Drugila, she is helping me a lot. I think we talked with her yesterday, even though I finished my program 3 months ago. So, and with Vaidas, who was my mentor during the program, and a few days ago I received a message from the Gediminas Rumšas. So yes, I'm talking with them, and in the beginning I was thinking to join or not, but now I'm like the ambassador of TechHub. If there will be anything I can do for you, just call me, text me, I will try to help as well, as they did for me.
You are risking right now. Okay, let's talk numbers a little bit. Could you tell, because you already are 3 months later, let's say, after you graduated. So if we talk numbers, what have you reached?
At the moment, our monthly recurring revenue is around 3,000 euros. Plus, we get some additional revenues. We have clients in Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, and we are signing new agreements. It's not a lot, but for me, I was dreaming to have a business and so on. And now we are in the final pre-selection steps for the investment. So our company is evaluated a bit less than 1 million. If we would compare with the giants like Vinted, it's close to nothing. But it's my dream. I am on the right way. So at the moment, I'm working fully for myself. I get the salary. We are growing. The numbers still are not so big, but they're growing rapidly.
It seems we see the next unicorn here. If you talk about your ambitions. Okay, Nafishek, and how about your numbers?
Our numbers after the acceleration program, we have got the 400 users, registered users. We were B2C, and then we grown to 11 veterinarian registered in our system, and now we are changing this the same way to the B2B. We have our veterinarian partners, and now we are growing more.
Okay, so your direct client is?
Veterinarian clinics.
Okay, so
now,
if we have some spectators from there, connect with Nafishek. And yours, Karolis?
It's a B2B software. Our goal is to bring innovation into the training of deskless employees, to the employees which spend most of their time on the go, like consultants in the physical stores, couriers, and so on. So with our developed software, they will have a great knowledge necessary for the jobs. Because of that, they will achieve great results, and everybody will be happy. Their bosses, their clients, and so on.
So do I understand correctly that more intellect is basically for first-line employees, right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, clear. Guys, now you are experienced. If I ask you to give some advices for your fellows, for TechHubbers who are just jumping in, and also for those TechHubbers who today is graduating, what would be your advice?
You, it doesn't matter you win or not. You follow with your mentors, you don't give up, you follow with your idea, you will be successful, connect with them, they will help you. Really doesn't matter for them. Anytime, connect with them and be strong, believe yourself and have a self-confidence, and you will be successful.
Thank you. It's really nice words. Karolis.
Okay. If someone from the audience will think that I might be beneficial for them if they will need advice, recommendations, so please feel free to contact me via email, LinkedIn, whatsoever. Talking about the wishes, for the top 5, you are on the right track. That's for sure. Keep it going. How Tal is saying, don't hesitate, accelerate. For others, I think that it's very hard to achieve the success from the first attempt. Just keep it going. If it will be necessary, start from the beginning, second time, third time. Just follow your dream. Take a risk with your time, with your money, and it's worth it, and enjoy the ride.
I would conclude, no one is responsible for your success, just you yourself, right?
Exactly.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks,
Nafishek, thanks, Karolis. And we hope to see you still in the community and in other programs as well. Who knows, maybe we will have acceleration and Series A and Series B. TechHub, what do you think? Okay, thanks a lot. Applause. Okay, I hope that you got some insights from Nafishek and Karolis. Me personally, I got some. And now, before we go to top 5, we still have, today actually we celebrate the journey not of 12 teams, which you have seen here, right? But of 21 teams, which successfully graduated from the program. And 8 teams lacked like small step to the stage, but we still want to thank them. And we want to thank to UAB Smagus Adventica, Recast, Iron Cat, Kuoliko, Blumo.lt, Kavalgom, Art Filter Co, MB Veselis. Why I'm telling that they are already successful? Because we are already on the development of innovations. They are already established businesses. So today we really celebrate the start and the beginning of the journey in the real world. Okay, now, are you waiting for those top five? No? Okay, so if you are not waiting for that, I know that Olegas, the guy from the future, he wanted to say us something.
Hello, everybody. So the main thing that I want to say is thank you, TechHub, thank you for being people, like real people. In this acceleration program, I felt like I was cared about. And this human factor is what usually goes undervalued and perhaps doesn't get noticed too often. So yeah, there are classes, there are lectures, there is feedback, but the human factor, when I really feel that people in this acceleration program really care about what I do, care about my success, care about growth, care about our startup, that we do something great. And so thank you. It really helped. We did pivot, and I feel much better than I was before applying or before joining TechHub. Thank you from Greater Academy.
Thank you, Olegas, a lot. And now, I want to invite Gediminas Rumšas, the head of the program TechHub. Gediminas, you are the star now. Where is your mic? We need a mic. Here you have. Okay, how do you feel tonight?
You know, the feeling is like kids are graduating. You are really, okay. 1, 2, you hear me? Okay. So the feeling is like your kids are graduating, and I remember this feeling from 3 months ago, and this time I'm ready for it, you know. The first time it hit me really hard, so now it's really nice. I expected it, you know, and I feel that you're ready. I feel you did a really good job, a really impressive work during these 3 months. As I did say before, for the cohort, you are still TechHub, you are still with us. We'll try to help you as much as we can. We have a lot of good things we haven't shared. 3 months is really a short time, and we'll continue working. It's only the beginning.
Thank you for your passion to TechHub. So, now, do you know who are winners?
No.
Me either. What we do? Okay, so anyway, I think I will use an innovative envelope, and someone from the jury will send me now, live. Okay, what I would really like to mention, don't forget that it's not the decision of investors. Investors have your contacts. Investors, if they are interested, they will contact you personally. So this is the decision of TechHub team, mentors, while evaluating your potential, the innovative part of your solution, and the team. Prizes. Okay, so before we start to announce our 5 winners, I want to remind you that all those 5 teams, they will get the co-financing for acceleration program in your own chosen European Union country. Co-financing will be for business trips, international contact fairs, meetings, meetings with potential business partners, and wherever you decide in terms to enhance your startup, right? Okay. You're playing with my nerves. Yes, I do. I love it. Simply, I promised that today we will have a test of patience. So now we are measuring. It's like the research, scientific research. Don't forget that this is organized by Agency of Science, Innovation and Technology. So this is the game, guys. Okay, I'm not playing with your nerves already. I start to do that. So the first team, which will get the certificate and the prize, is... Can I hear something like... Okay, and it is Ino Star! Woo! Tatiana! Guys, no hugs, no hugs. We are still in quarantine. Thank you. And the second team is, but again, I do not hear any applauses, nothing. And the second team is Imentai. Woo! Wait, get him in. Okay, I just want to remind that all those 5 teams, which are awarded right now, they will get a co-financing for acceleration in any chosen European country, right? Yes. Okay, so we know already 2 travelers. Who is our third? And the third is... Corbridge! Woo! Okay, don't forget that in 1 week we are starting the 3rd cycle already. So follow, take a look what we are creating there, and wait for the call for the 4th cycle. Okay, so as we are talking about the 4th cycle already, for you to follow, we want to announce the 4th winner. And the 4th winner is... Benmi! Woo! The last one. How do you imagine do we feel right now? Because we still have here sitting 8 teams who are waiting for what? 1. And I'm sure everybody wants to hear their name. Okay, guys. Can you guess who is the 5th? Nobody? Okay, we can go. Okay, so who is the 5th? Who is the 5th? Okay, and the 5th winner is... Exactly! And I adore you! Woo! Thank you, Gediminas. We did a great job, but before that, we were... Sorry, come back. My fault. I forgot that we still have 7 teams here which want to get their certificate that we were very successful and just you can give it. Okay, so I pick Vidida. Curtains calculator app. Food identity. iSupply. And of course, we have MITA Maltsev and Creator Academy, but we were connected with us on Zoom, so we are not doing the transferring, and we are not sending them right now, right? Okay, so thank you for everyone. Thank you for watching. Don't forget that to follow on all social networks, to follow what TechHub is doing and creating, and definitely, please support everybody, every entrepreneur who has started their journey. Thanks a lot, and see you next time. Bye!